So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whenever you listen to this. This is Matthew Bailey alongside my critique and partner in crime, Ricardo Medina.
Hello.
And this is episode 2 of season 3 of Beers, Beats, and Bailey. So, before we get to, the stuff that we're going to talk about, the movies we're going to talk about, I think we should just kind of briefly cover the 2 trailers that dropped last week at the time of this recording. I know there were a few others, but I didn't really see or care for them. But the 2 I'm talking about are for Logan and Power Rangers.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, but let me talk about Logan. Let me talk about the more adult trailer first.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, what I would say briefly is that it looks pretty good. I like the fact that they take any sort of Deadpool approach, not just with the R rating and the the explicit language, but because more of a low budget. It's more it's not heavy on special effects. It's more grounded,
right.
based in reality and that. And I like that.
Right.
Personally, it didn't blow me away. I wasn't like, OMG, look at what the Gill is doing, all that kind of stuff. But I got the vibe what they were going at. It didn't blow me away, like I said, but, I honestly can't wait to see how the full movie looks like so far. So all I can just say is that while it's not the best trailer or best second trailer I've ever seen, it still has me in a sense of anticipation, for this movie that's coming up. So what do you think about the trailer for second trailer for Logan?
It not really nothing about it particularly surprising. I knew they were kind of coming with the X23 approach to the story, and they're just going to modify that. X23 is a pretty popular character, so I'm not that surprised that they bring her on. She's a little younger than I expected her to be, but still looking cool.
Yeah.
And I would like to see what they do with it. Last time I don't think I have anything to say with this new trailer because last time it was just more action. Didn't really improve on the narrative or anything expanded particularly. It's kind of just a little more information. We get to see a little more action.
Yeah, and you got more of the idea that it's going to be this, I don't want to call it like a buddy thing, but really is Logan and the skill here. So you got more of that.
Right. Right, and then the big thing everybody comparing it to again The Last of Us as kind of the running joke.
Yeah.
Again, I consider The Last of Us excellent. Probably one of the best things I've enjoyed in the last 10 years or so.
Best things. Okay.
This I expect. This I'm pretty excited for. I don't expect it to be like this absolutely brilliant movie or anything like that. I heard a lot of hype. The first 40 minutes was so good and blah 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 blah. But this was I expected it to be solid. I forget who's the director of this too. Who's the director of this?
The name escapes me right now. I would assume it would have been the same guy who did the Wolverine, but no, it's not. I don't think it is.
No.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty hyped for it. I think it'll be good. Nothing special. So
it's rather low key in X-Men standards. So like a friend of mine said recently, there's technically no way the show could fail because it's not like they're going for this big over the top vibe like what X-Men Apocalypse was, where it was so grand and all that kind of stuff, but it still kind of came off a little mediocre. I mean we both can admit that.
That's right. No, but for me, I was comparing it to the Wolverine, which I like the first 2/3 of. It's just that last act was just so much nonsense and ruined the movie for me.
I like the movie overall, even though the whole Silver Samurai thing was a letdown, but it was great. That
was a mess for me. It was going good, and if they figure out a way to wrap that up better, I'd have really enjoyed the movie. Because again, I like the first 2 acts, even though the train sequence was kind of dumb. But whatever.
It didn't need to be there. It just ran for too long.
Right.
But yeah.
Right, but it was a movie that it had a lot of strong moments in it, and I was like, all right, cool, we should have get more of this with the film. But this movie I expected to try to.
Now, seeing the intro.
Sorry.
Seeing the intro to the Wolverine alone was great. That was so great.
The pretty badass.
That whole sequence in Japan, that was awesome.
Yeah. All of that stuff was great. It had a great scene with the samurai sword, and he gets stabbed through the stomach, and he take the whole thing.
Yes.
Love all of that. So it's a shame. I don't remember that being rated R though.
No, it wasn't. It was PG-13. It was almost to the point of being R. Like you could tell that the filmmakers were like, "Jeez, if only this could have been an R." But so you had to stab people, but you don't show blood, So it's like that.
Right. Yeah. That's why I remember the movie. Kind of just pulling down the movie. With this, I know it's going to be rated R. Deadpool kind of is a great proof of concept that Fox should start following from now on. It's like, look, you could do your rated R stuff. Just don't go too retarded. R. Rated R is not rated R for retarded. And they should just, you deal with a heavy subject matter in your comics. You could do that. It's possible. It's very possible. You have to know what you're doing.
Exactly.
And I would like to see them just do a decent enough story, make it dark. I would like to, if they just rip off Last of Us plotline, like if they rip that off, I will be totally happy with that of this movie. Like, all they have to do is just rip off that sequence, the last sequence in Last of Us. Don't want to spoil it for anybody if anybody want to play it.
Please
but
don't.
basically, spoilers. Okay, well, basically, it's a big, like, moral decision moment for one of the main characters. It's awesome. And I totally loved it, even though it had some evidence that he didn't need to make that decision. But whatever, that makes it more tragic, in my opinion.
Right.
And the thing is, I just want them to do, if they do something along those lines, instead of just making it just straightforward, you need to save the girl because she might be special kind of thing. If they actually put a good twist to it and make it interesting and actually put a twist to your plot, I'll be happy. Just rip off Last of Us. You'll be good. You're fine. Most people haven't played Last of Us. Most people never play Last of Us, and you'll enjoy this movie and story on its own. Yeah. That's all they need to do,
Okay.
Just do that. That is a basic. Whatever.
Cool.
But it's a solid trailer. I enjoy.
Yeah, but I think the highlight for me really in that trailer was just hearing Patrick Stewart swear. Him being as Professor X Custer. I was like, okay.
Right.
They're taking full advantage of that.
I heard some really stupid information. I had some disturbing information at how Professor I think Hugh Jackman outright said, he said something along the lines of how this is not in the X-Men universe. I'm like, why would you tell me something like that? Right? That's kind of stupid. Whatever.
Okay, well, maybe that might kind of explain that weird scene where Logan was looking at the X-Men comic book and, critiquing it pretty much.
Yeah, but no, that's fine, because you get the sense a lot of time pass. Yeah, so you say, look, this didn't happen, that happened. Yeah, it's alternate parallel from the events of Days of Future Past. So, we know that had to play out that way. So just talk about that future. We could still get younger Wolverine or whatever it is. You still have a lot of stories to tell. Why it is that you say it's not in the X-Men canon? It's them kind of things to just ruin it, but whatever. But still, I'm pretty hyped for this. I expect it to be solid. And then again, the early hype for the 40 minutes. Everybody talk about that first 40 minutes. So good and so well done. I'm like, all right, cool. And people who I like and have good opinions and stuff opinions I like, they say so. It's like, all right, cool. My boy C. Robert Cargill, love that guy. Yeah, give me that.
Good. Okay. Well, yeah. Well, can't wait to see what we get with Logan.
Right.
I know you have to just talk about this Power Rangers trailer that came out. Now, I'll start off with this. What I will say is that I'm glad, in a way, that it embraced its silliness, because the trailer is downright silly.
Yeah.
It plays it off kind of pseudo-serious, but you expect that from a modern-day sort of sci-fi adventure movie involving teens, so I expect that. Seeing the Zords and seeing the putties. I didn't expect to see putties though, but I saw putties, like, okay, there are putties in this, right? So we saw Zordon, of course, as Bryan Cranston.
Right.
I like the fact I like how they utilize his face. That was cool. It's more up to date, not like that stupid way how they did it back in '92 with the series. The oh gosh, I'm forgetting the robot's name. Not Alpha. Yeah. Alpha. It's that the design for that is something that I get used to. I wasn't really wowed by it. I just look at it like I don't know. But other than that, everything else looks kind of fun and silly and ridiculous, and I'm hoping that they just keep that kind of self-awareness, and you could get a good movie. But then again, it's Power Rangers, so I don't know. I really can't say right now if I will like it or not.
Yeah. This new trailer is a huge improvement over the first trailer for me. Huge improvement.
Yes.
Like, the first trailer was just...
Yeah, one thing I have to say before I forget, although they have to go all cliche and use Kanye West's power, I mean, of all these songs, like, everybody had used power. When that song came out, I remember they used it in Limitless. Remember that movie? The first trailer that came out, they used that song, So it's like, obvious, okay, power, so we had our power, from Kanye West. Duh. I was like, okay, well, I thought it was just going to just, like, straight up just use the song now. But then I see they kind of flip it and they bring in the Power Rangers theme song, the updated one. I was like, all right, well, Kanye give all that blind, so, okay, I can't argue, all right. Still kind of cheesy, but of course it's Power Rangers, so why not,
Yeah, for me, look, it's a groupie premise mixed with decent, clever action and a genuine... If you put in a genuine humanist element, and for extra credit, You're putting a few subversive jokes for the counterculture edgelord child. You know, right? To get a chuckle, easy cash, cash, right? You see what they did in the trailer? Hey, I'm black. No, you're not. See?
Yeah.
It's about
Simple
racism.
stuff
You get
like
it?
that. Yeah.
Clever.
Yeah.
Simple, and it actually looking entertaining. I actually want to, this is something I actually want to see now. I actually want to see this now. Instead of that super serious business chronicle bullshit they're trying to give us with the last trailer. Yeah. That's stupidness. I was like, what the fuck is this? And then when they did this trailer, I was like, yeah, this is how you're supposed to do it. Put in all the elements. They bring in Golda. They bring in, again, Rita was there. I expect to see a little Lord Zed post-credit sequence. They're probably going to do that shit. But yeah, by George, I think they got it. It's a simple formula. Follow it. Do it. Nothing, you don't have to think. Sorry to say it. All of this remix and all of this every time you're bringing back something, you don't have to think with it. It just understand the material. Don't take yourself too seriously. Take the material seriously. And then make it a little clever and modern, and you're good. You can't go wrong.
And have fun with it.
Decent, anybody who have half word this salt in writing a script could easily beat out 120 minutes out of that. Easy.
You really want to see 120 minutes of Power Rangers, right? No. Give me 100 or 105 minutes and I good. I'm not asking for much. It's 100 or 105. Give me 120, all right?
90 minutes, whoever gives a shit. It don't matter. 90 minutes, whoever. It don't matter. Point is, you can hammer it out and get it done. I actually want to see this now.
Yeah, it looks good. But, I mean, it still have a chance of it sucking, but it looks good. That's all I can say.
I totally will not be surprised if it's still terrible. But here's the thing. I actually want to see it now. Because my thing with bad movies is once you have fun with the material and you make it work, I don't mind that. That's fine. However, when you try to take yourself so serious, like you see that Fantastic Four bullshit, although again, you could have more shenanigans behind the scene. But when you take yourself too seriously, you'll fuck it up. You end up fucking it up and you end up having with egg on your face because like, well, I'm the serious filmmaker on something that I'm not supposed to be taken so seriously. Why are you on the project in the first place?
Exactly.
Like, if you're not here to have fun and when shit like this, just get out. Go make your art film in a corner somewhere. Sorry.
Yeah, if the director does not have fun, the cast and crew don't have fun, and it shows. Trust me. I know.
So this are pretty hyped about. I actually want to see this. Here's the thing. We like to rag on Power Rangers, but there were a couple series that actually was decent for what it was. And if they at least somewhat replicate that tone, I will really, really enjoy this movie. So the series I like is like the first series was terrible, Mighty Morphin, right? Turbo was terrible.
Turbo was garbage, but I grew up on Mighty Morphin. It was
right, Mighty Morphin.
Basically the same formula over and over and over. But I liked it. At the time.
But then by the time I was in my mid-teens, there was a series that came out more or less after the Turbo movie. So there was a Turbo movie.
Which was terrible.
After that, horrible. Because remember that the popular movie remember that the popular movie.
Which was dumb fun.
Which was
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie.
Starring,
I liked it. Oh, yes.
Yeah, starring Oscar Isaac.
A very young Oscar Isaac as Ivan Ooze.
Yeah, so that's the thing. So right after Turbo, they had a series. The series that came out right after Turbo, this was Power Rangers in Space. And Power Rangers in Space was actually a good show. Right? I was in my mid-teens actually enjoying it. It was a good show. I defend it.
Wait,
why?
That was on ABC Family, right? Because I know most of those shows
it was on Fox. It was on Fox, but eventually it merged a thing. But yes, it was on Fox. So what they did with it is, here's why Power Rangers in Space worked, is that they kept the giant fighting bullshit to a minimum. Because that's the one thing that always killed the show, in my opinion. There's just two dudes in a rubber suit, fuck them. I hate that. Right. So, but what they did is they had a lot of the martial arts stuff, and they actually made the martial arts stuff actually good. Like, it was decent choreography. You actually enjoying the action. And then another thing is that they didn't make it really episodic. They made it arc-based now. So characters had full arcs. They had long-running arcs. Nice. I was like, this was actually good. And then they had a full arc with the main character, who is the Red Ranger, Andros. And then the ending of the series was actually pretty damn good. It's like, wait, they actually did this with the ending? Whoa, this is actually pretty badass. And yeah, that was a good series. And then they did the series that came right after. This was, it had a bigger budget, but it didn't really work. That was Power Rangers Lost Galaxy, I think. That was still had right. That was the one that was pretty decent. It had its own thing, but it wasn't anywhere near as good as Power Rangers in Space. But it's still okay. I remember watching it out, actually enjoying it. And then after that, everything else after that, they went back to the typical bullshit.
That was
Didn't care about it.
the dino stuff and the galaxy
Yeah.
thing.
It had no dread. It had like 10 different series after that, and I didn't care about it. It had ninjas and all kind of bullshit. Didn't care.
Ninja something.
Another thing this movie yeah. Whatever, fuck that. These are terrible.
Yeah, but those were the ones I remember from ABC Family, by the way. Those were the ones that I actually remember.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
If they do it in that tone, like if they make this second movie based on, like, assuming this make money and do well and it gets a sequel, they should like borrow from that, like borrow from Power Rangers in Space, actually make a working arc, make a good story, and make it work. And I would like to see them do something. Just let's enjoy yourself. That is my main point. Just have a good fun. Don't take yourself too seriously, and just that's it. Hammer it out, make it work. Don't overthink it. Get it done. I'd expect them to do that. Another thing this movie need cameos from Bulk and Skull. If you remember those two characters from the original series.
They had their own theme song. They had their own theme music. It was dumb. It was so 90s, but anyway.
And that's the thing. Power Rangers was always kind of the poster children of the cringe-worthiness of the 90s. Like everything you found incredibly cringe-worthy and just sad and you're just cynical about, that's Power Rangers. And but there's no sign of something doing well when you do basically you have a copycat, because Power Rangers had an insane amount of copycats. Insane amount.
Yes,
like,
there was. I'm trying to remember if there was. There was one in particular, but I can't remember which one it was, but I know what you mean. Yeah.
Okay. So I remember the worst of the lot and then the best of the lot. I can't remember every one of them. The worst of the lot was something called Tattoo Teenage Alien Fighters from Beverly Hills.
Okay,
that is some bullshit. That was fucking terrible.
I do not know about that. I'm sorry. First time I'm hearing about this.
Yeah, that show was fucking nonsense. Like absolute rubbish dread. It was basically a Power Rangers clone.
Yeah.
Then the show that I actually liked, and this was the Power Rangers clone I thought it did the best. In fact, it kind of transcended the genre and the material. Is a show called Mystic Knights of Tir-Na-Nog. That show was pretty damn good.
I heard of that.
It was.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was on Fox, I think. Either Fox or ABC Family.
That was on Fox as well, yeah.
Yeah, I remember
that.
Yeah,
it was Fox. No, ABC and Fox kind of had a lot of like overlap now, like in terms of the material. So like it's the same. A lot of it had overlap in terms of who owned what in terms of franchise and stuff. Because remember, Disney kind of like took over by then now.
Yeah.
And like to me that was an excellent show. So in fact I would kind of compare that more to Xena more than anything actually. But yeah, it was medieval Power Rangers. That's what it was. Okay. That show need a remake. If anything should get a remake, it should be that show. Like seriously, if somebody could hammer out a good 10 episode run, some good scripts and put it on Netflix, I'll be totally happy with that. Just modernize it. Everybody doing the media. Yeah, everybody doing the medieval thing nowadays anyway. I mean, just do it. Again, you don't have to make it as serious as that, but just kind of make it for Game of Thrones for tweens, and you're good.
Yeah.
And you're good. Easy script. Easy money.
Yeah, I mean,
easy money.
Right?
Don't fuck it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, easy money. Whatever.
Yeah, but
that's the thing.
But Power Rangers looks good. I mean, I kind of know what to expect with it. I know Ricardo does too, so
Right.
But I still say it could suck, but I don't know.
Right. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm totally happy with what I see right now. These CG looking a little crappy, but hopefully it'll improve that for the final product. Maybe not sure. These people have a tendency to be incredibly lazy with stuff like that, but whatever.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. I just kind of happy that this taking itself way less seriously than I thought they would. Because I really thought we was gonna get like a kind of Chronicle bullshit where things just so serious and serious business and everything kind of washed out. And I was like, yeah, fuck all you.
Yeah.
Just give us something that you could give the kids. That's it.
Right.
You don't want to go too silly. Just go enough for people to enjoy it. That's it.
Cool.
So yeah.
All right. So from trailers, let's just jump into movies. So today we have 4 movies we're going to talk about. First is a musical comedy drama, which came out last year. Yes, I know we in January, but we still want to cover the movies that we did not see, the best movies I should say we didn't get to see because certain shows those show down here because I don't know, fuck us, that's why. Anyway, I'm talking about Sing Street. It's the latest movie from director John Carney, who, if you remember, back in 2007 gave us the very nice, very pleasant movie Once, which I remember showed up in a lot of like best movies of the decade list, and I remember seeing it Actually, not once, but twice. And I liked it. It was a very sweet, very affectionate movie. And it was about music. And this one is, in a way, about music. And then we're going to keep that music theme running with La La Land, which we finally get to see. Which we finally got to experience on the big screen. I know there was like this torrent that
Right.
came out like a couple of days before, but I was like, no, 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 I have to experience this thing on big screen, and that's exactly what I did. And we'll
Right.
share our thoughts on that. Also, the biography film, well, more or less like a historical film, Hidden Figures, which was one that we were psyched to
Uh-huh.
to experience, with Taraji P Henson, Octavia Spencer, and Janelle Monáe. And finally,
Right.
the movie that everyone has been waiting for, like for for 12 years, we were waiting for this show to come out, and my God, we finally got it. Triple X, the return of Xander Cage. Okay, so we're starting off with Sing Street, which I saw, so I'll just kind of run this through. Once again, like I said, it's directed by John Carney, who back in 2007 gave us the movie Once, which was this really nice romance sort of musical film about this musician, these two musicians, a man and a woman, and this relationship that they develop. This case, it's kind of like a autobiographical film based on Carney's life in Dublin, and the story itself is
Okay.
set in 1985, and pretty much it centers on the character of Connor, played by, let me see if I get the name right, Ferdia Walsh Pilu, sorry, and he is living in this pretty much this middle lower class family. His parents actually are played by two actors that I've seen before, well, actually seen on TV. Aidan Gillen, who plays Littlefinger from
Right.
Game of Thrones, that character that we
Right.
love to hate, and also we have Maria Doyle Kennedy, who plays Connor's mom. And for those who watch Orphan Black, and if you haven't, why? It's a great show. Definitely check it out. Oh yes, and by the way, season 5 is coming out this year. It's supposed to be the final season, so you can look forward to a review
Right.
of that from yours truly. So yeah, so both Littlefinger and I forgot Maria's character's name from Orphan Black. They play Connor's parents, and along with that, he has an older sister. Um, and he also has an older brother played by an actor called Jack Renner. I've never seen him before, but like I don't know. Every time I saw him on screen, to me the best way to describe him is like he looks like this sort of younger Irish version of like Seth Rogen, like a younger version of him before he
Okay.
got fat and stuff now. And he has that kind of,
Right.
and the character himself of Brendan is that same kind of slacker stoner kind of character. He stays home. He doesn't work or anything like that. He's always listening to records and stuff. He was formerly a guitarist for this rock band, but things didn't work out, so he's just trying to get by. And then their parents are going through this tumultuous relationship. Talks about divorce and stuff like that. And a love affair going on in the background that they're trying to keep on the hush, all that kind of thing. So, and then on top of all that, Connor's just living in this environment where it's really not easy for him. You know, being Irish and all, and he's just trying to get by in Dublin, and the film kind of opens where he goes into the state school. Name of it is called Singe Street. So it's kind of like
Right.
the reference for the name of the movie, Sing Street. So it's like Synge, and it's pretty much a boys' school, and yeah, the boys treat him like shit because he's from this other town, and they just kind of look at him like the outsider and the loser, and they just treat him as such. So yeah, our protagonist is looking for escape. He's looking for a means to just get out of that environment, and he finds it through music. And funny thing is how he got into it is like I said, his brother was a guitarist, and he actually has a collection of like a lot of like rock LPs. And because it's like in the 1985, we're talking about like artists like Pink Floyd and Def Leppard, artists from like the 60s and 70s going on that sort of progressive rock kind of thing, and more particularly the rock from England and stuff like that. So basically, Connor and his brother Brendan, they find escape from their their environment through music, and you have to remember this is like the mid 80s, so music videos were becoming more and more popular. So in particular, the first video that they're watching is one from Duran Duran. I forgot the name of the song, and but the video is exactly what you would expect from a group like them. That sort of pop rock kind of thing is very flashy, a lot of like crazy visuals and stuff like that. And they see this thing as art. It's not so much as, oh well, this is just the video for a song that came out. This is art to these individuals, and I like how the film kind of expresses that. So that in a way is kind of shows how Connor's interest in rock music. And funny thing is, what happens is that he spots this girl. Her name is Rafina, who's played by Lucy Boynton. I've never heard of her before, but she's excellent in this movie. And he steps up to her. He falls in love with her like instantly, and he kind of tells her that he is the leader of this rock band. But of course, as we know, he does not have a rock band, so he's kind of like lying out of his own ass now. So he's saying that she looks fine, and she asks her he asks her, sorry, if she wants to be in a video that they're gonna shoot in like a week or so, and she's like, yeah, no problem, because she's actually a model. So now Connor has to set up this band, and well, he finds a couple of, well, friends, you could say, from the school itself. They find some other people as well too, who we have a guitarist, we have a guy who plays piano, you have a stuff like that now, and they form their own band, which is called Sing Street. And throughout the course of the movie, we just kind of see these kids, creating music and shooting their own videos. They actually have like a VHS camera. Like
Okay.
like I have never seen this before in my life. Like actually a camera that records to a VHS tape. It's really crazy. And while we're seeing all that, of course, there's this relationship that blossoms between Connor and Rafina. It's nice to see and all that. And then, there's all this conflict about, wanting to leave Dublin and wanting to pursue their dreams, wanting to, go to London and try to pursue a career in music, trying to be taken seriously as musicians, even though they are technically outcasts and they have to deal with their own personal stuff. And that, in a way, is what Sing Street is about. I would say, though, right off the bat, I don't know if you noticed, like with British movies or European movies, they tend to look less glossy than how American films do. They always have like this kind of dull, even though it could be like well shot and everything, it has this kind of dull tone to it, so it does not look. It's almost as if like the environment itself is like really cold, while it could look like an American movie, and it seems to be so bright and shiny now. Up there, those kind of films
Right.
look like that. So I don't know. I don't know if it's because of the just the environment, or if it's just the cameras
This
they
is
use or
Ireland,
whatever.
right?
Yeah, well,
This
Dublin.
is
That's what
Ireland,
it's set.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Right, yeah, but yeah, Dublin has always looked like that. And the last show that was particularly Irish that I remember seeing was a TV show called Hit and Miss. And yeah, it was shot that same kind of everything cloudy and dreary kind
Yeah,
of look.
yeah, yeah.
Oh no, this other movie was based in Ireland, not kind of based in Ireland. Miss Peregrine's Home for Extraordinary Kids. I can't remember
I
the
was
show.
gonna say imaginary
But yeah,
children.
that Miss Peregrine.
Hmm.
Yeah, whatever. That show also, I think the characters from Ireland as well. So it had a whole that look now. That
Yeah,
same
yeah.
cloudy, everything kind of dirty.
Okay,
Yeah.
I would imagine it to look more glossy because it's a Hollywood film. But anyway, yeah. So
Yeah.
what I like about this show, well, also as well, is that the fact that it feels like you're watching a film from the 80s. I'm not just talking about the music. I'm talking about
Right.
just the same look, the feel of it. It really feels like you're watching like a British show from like the 80s that just so happened to be
Right.
about rock music. Um,
Right.
the story itself, while I mean it's simple, it's just this guy creating this band and doing music. He wants to impress a girl. I mean, right off the bat, that's just a very basic, storyline. But it goes deeper into just being able to create music, to be to create art, and just based from your own experiences. So, with rock music, or with great music, I should say, you don't just come out and say, well, Mom and dad fight and cuss a lot, so I'll write a song about that. Mom and dad fight and cuss a lot. You use metaphors, use similes to kind of express what you're really trying to say, and I like how they do that in this movie. So he would so Connor, for example, would talk about how he feels for Rafina in one song. Another song would be about this teacher, I forgot the guy's name, this Catholic teacher who, who kind of right off the bat just kind of berates him, really tries to punish him and stuff, because in one scene, there's this rule about coming in with about wearing black shoes, and he can't afford black shoes. He has like brown shoes. So,
Right.
he gets called into the office, and he's like telling them, well, it's black shoes or else you have to walk with your socks on alone. And right after that, he's walking, he's just walking through the school, even in a puddle and all too of mud and stuff with his socks on, is really humiliating, that scene. Um, and it kind of played it off for laughs too, but at the same time, because of how well realized the character is, you can't help but feel for him. You laugh, but at the same time, you can relate to this guy. He's the outsider. He's the loner, and it's fortunate for him that he finds other loners, people who just trying to get by, and they just want to do something creative, something fun, and it's true music. And even though I'm not the
Right.
biggest fan of like Duran Duran or 80s pop rock or glam rock as well. Oh yeah, they even do a reference to David Bowie as well too. That was nice. I still appreciate the fact that I still love the fact that it's about music at the end of the day. It's about being able to express yourself and how you feel and how you relate to the world and all that through music. And I love that. And the film brilliantly and beautifully expresses that. The acting I thought was superb. These were like, well, especially from the leads who are primarily in their teens. Um, I've never seen them in any movie prior to Sing Street, but I really would love to see them in other movies because I thought that
Right.
they acted excellently. And what I like too is because it's set in Dublin, because it's set there. The accents, they're not tick, they're not like ridiculously tick that you can't understand what they're saying, but the way how they deliver the lines really do feel authentic. Really do feel like, yeah, these are Irish people talking the way they do, or these are British people talking the
Right.
way they do. I love how they did that. Um, also like the fact too that they didn't stress too much on the relationship between the parents, because that's not really the important part. They really stress on two relationships, particularly one with Connor's relationship with Rafina, and also with his relationship with his brother. And I like that they gave Brendan some weight. He's not just a guy who cracks jokes and says, "Oh, well, Duran Duran is gay, and all these. Why are you dressing up like that? And rock and roll is about risks, and talking like a slacker." There, it's not like that. But when you really understand and where he's coming from, and there's this really powerful moment where he's talking about how he had to give up his dream, to and then he ended up being where he was. I thought that was a really powerful scene. And yeah, that guy in
Right.
particular, Jack Ryan, I thought was excellent in his role, and I can't wait to see what he does. I don't know, who knows, maybe you might see him alongside Seth Rogen, like maybe a younger version of Seth Rogen. I don't know. Like I swear to God, the man really does look like a younger version of Seth Rogen. Um,
Right.
the music was fantastic. There were some great songs in this. Similar to Once, there was some, well, Once, for those who don't know, it is more like a modern musical, so you do get some really nice songs in there, and this one we got some nice 80s sounding music as well too. One in particular I really loved was one called right, there was one song in particular that I really loved called Drive It Like You Stole It. That you could actually go up on YouTube right now and look for the video for it. It's fantastic. The song is awesome. And what I like about that is, and we'll get into that, of course, with La La Land, where in creating the video, he imagines it as, okay, well, it's 1985, so of course the big movie of that year was Back to the Future. So
Right.
Connor wanted to do this scenario where you have this sort of 50s sort of high school dance kind of thing, with the red carpet,
Right. Right.
the red curtains in the background, the doo-wop in the background, that kind of thing. So he's conveying that. So he is the band that's playing during that high school dance. And Rafina's character steps in and he's talking about this Gilna. And he's kind of telling her, well, love is a risk and, you should take that chance. And, basically like, like you just jump in that car and you just drive. So drive it like you stole it. That's the theme of the song. And what I like though is that, yes, well, right off the bat, I mean, it's clearly, I mean, it's understandable. They have no money, they have no budget. So it's like, all right, well, we get this spot here in school. We just call up a few people. We have this camera. Let me just try and come up with some ideas for some shots. It doesn't look good, but hey, it's a video, whatever. But in that sequence, he imagines himself as being part of this big lavish high school dance scene, which yeah, it evokes that scene from Back to the Future. So it's kind of like he's imagining himself there, and he's imagining things to be so great and so lovely, and everything is gonna work out fine. His parents are gonna be okay. His brother's fine. He gets the girl of his dreams, that kind of thing. So he's envisioning that in his head while he's performing this song, even though, like I said, the video is like not that, And I love that moment. That was a beautiful moment. Um, and I thought that the way how it wrapped up too, kind of unrealistic, but because the tone is kind of light, and because they're playing off of this slightly sort of fantasy kind of vibe, like you pursue your dreams, and you go as far as you could, and if you hold on, you could make it, that kind of thing, that kind of feel good kind of thing. That it ends like that, but I thought it worked excellently as well. Some people might roll their eyes like, yeah, that really wouldn't have happened. It would have ended a lot more tragically because of his background and where he's from. Like realistically, it wouldn't happen that way. But because it's going for this light-hearted tone, I thought that it worked excellently. So, yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. I heard a lot of great things about it, which is why I chose to watch this movie in the first place. I didn't expect the music to be this great. I didn't expect the performances to be this strong, and I didn't expect that the overall vibe of this movie to be not just like warm and lovey-dovey, but also inspirational too. Just looking past the fact that yeah, you mightn't be in the best of conditions, but once you have a dream, and once you are able to express yourself through that dream, or once you're able to pursue your goals, that kind of inspirational stuff that I love. I mean, regardless of what movie it is, then yeah, I was captivated by this. I loved it. um Once again, like I said, the performances were great, the music was excellent, the story, while simple, was still to the point. It was entertaining, it was energetic, and it was fun. It really had a lot of soul, it had a lot of heart to it, a lot of emotion, and not much more I could say. So yeah, rating wise, I would give this a decent 4 out of 5 stars. This is one you should definitely
Right.
check out, especially if I mean, you don't even have to like 80s music, even though like I say, it still has that sort of retro, VH1's I love the 80s aesthetic to it, but still, it's for the dreamers out there. It's for the those who love music, those who, and even if you're not musically inclined or whatever, still having that dream, still having that goal, and yeah, even though you're not from the states, but you still have that talent in you. It's just a matter of harnessing it and seeing how far you could go with it, and that kind of stuff I could relate to, and that kind of stuff I love. So yeah, Sing Street, 4 to 5 stars. Definitely check it out. Now we're gonna talk about La La Land, a show that
Cool.
both of us, we have been hyped to see, even from the moment we saw the
Yeah.
trailer and we saw who's directing it. I mean, Damien Chazelle, who brought out the excellent Whiplash, one of the best movies of that
Yeah.
year, hands down.
Yeah.
Yeah. But before I get to well, as a matter of fact, I'll let you just pretty much run through what it's about. It reunites Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone for the third time, actually. First time, which I honestly forgot, was in a little movie called Gangster Squad, which could
Yeah.
have been a lot better, but and not just because of the whole controversy with the shooting that took place, during that Dark Knight Rises screening,
Right.
and the reason why they took off that trailer in the first place, which I still thought, I mean, I understand why they do it, but it was still a badass trailer. But still, the movie itself was kind of forgettable and disposable, but whatever. And then
Yeah.
after that, we had Crazy Stupid Love, which was a movie that I honestly enjoyed. It was one of my personal favorite movies of 2011. I really enjoyed it. I love the chemistry that they had there. And initially, who was the person that was supposed to play the lead was, believe it or not, Miles Teller from Whiplash.
Right.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
what the producer said, I actually heard about it in an interview, is that the producer said, well, we like, if you put Emma Stone and Miles Teller together, there's no way that the audience would buy into the fact that she would fall for
Nope.
Miles Teller easy.
For him.
No,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. So you
Yeah.
had to
I'm
get
sorry.
back Ryan Gosling. I mean, the man looks
Miles Teller too dumpy.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's a smart choice.
Yeah.
Way smart choice. Miles Teller is way too dumpy. It won't work. Total mess.
I mean, Ryan Gosling just have the charm. You have the look, of course. He just have the charisma. That's the thing.
Yeah, the only time Miles Teller's work for me is when he getting, when he getting the shit slapped out of him.
Like he did
because he's not drunk properly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the thing. Yeah, this movie. Okay, so
well, that's
basically
what it's about, right?
So what is La La Land about? It's about success and sacrificing principles for maybe success and your dreams, maybe.
Yes.
But you could fulfill your dreams, but you might have to pay a price for it, and we see that happen. And this movie was basically so Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone. Emma Stone is an actress, and Ryan Gosling is a jazz musician, and he ultimately wants to form this jazz club that's supposed to be pure jazz. He's basically a hipster for jazz.
Yeah.
And Emma Stone wants to be an actress in a movie. She doesn't want to get successful, just get her break. And then they meet, they fall in love, and then things play out, and everything plays like a Gene Kelly style musical.
Which we will get to as well. But yeah. But what were your thoughts on La La Land? What do you think?
I liked it. Didn't love it, but I liked it.
Same here.
I could totally see.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Sorry. Yeah, I wanted to really love it because we heard a lot of praise about it, but I came out like it was great, but I wasn't like in love with it. But continue.
Right. For me, it's one of those. It had a hell to walk up for me because I'm personally not a musical fan, right? I don't think it have any musicals I really, really like.
Okay. There's only a few that I could really say that I've seen and loved. Like, of course, Singing in the Rain. I love that. Still think it's one of the best musicals ever made. Stuff like that.
Yeah, the only musical I could say that I really like is The Sound of Music.
Yes, that's another one as well. But it had a great story to it, of course. Yeah, it didn't rely on musical numbers.
Exactly. So I am a person that you have to tell your own story and make it work. And then this film, I thought it was strange. It had some strange tones mixed up, and I thought it didn't deliver the way it should have. Because here's one of the big problems. One of the big things that held back the film is that Emma Stone don't have the ability to she can't dance that well, or she cannot sing that well either. Yeah, no, she can't sing or dance that well. You can tell.
I wasn't taken away from her singing or dancing, and I understood what they were going for, but I was like, nah. Honestly, I wasn't like, damn, she can't sing for shit though. It wasn't like that. It was just like,
It's not that she can't sing for shit or anything like that, but she just can't sing that well. So it didn't flow very well. So when she was singing, I was like, okay, it just kind of a lot of this stuff fell flat for me.
All right.
So I'll tell you what fell flat. Stuff that fell flat. So she, the first sequence when they danced together and they did that whole sequence together.
Yeah,
you could tell that Ryan Gosling was leading.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, it just kind of popped out of nowhere. It had a kind of bad tonal shift, in my opinion. So it didn't. To me, that kind of fell flat personally for me.
Okay.
And then because she could, like, Ryan Gosling could sing and dance, but she couldn't keep up with him. So you get that sense that the scene didn't flow very well.
All right.
I didn't hate that. It was fine. It was still done well. But you could tell it had a mechanical feel to it. Because it's like, she had to just get this right and not fuck it up.
Yeah.
But you could tell that she have no, like, I get the feeling that they had to probably do a bunch of takes.
She doesn't have a rhythm.
Yeah, they didn't have. You could tell the energy was there. I don't know. I could probably be corrected in some Blu-ray, and they did it perfectly in one take. I get the feeling that they had to do a lot of takes.
Yeah.
I get the feeling they had to do this.
But that's not one scene in particular, dude. Just that one scene in particular. Like, I thought technically it was well done. The way how, it's the sunset that takes place in the background, and they just doing this whole song and dance number while, in one take it looks really, really good. But you can't help but ask yourself how much takes it take to do that. Yeah.
Right. No, here's the thing, the real star of this film, full stop, is Damon Chazelle. He really understands
yes, he does.
And has a good eye for the material.
Yeah.
He himself clearly loves musicals, so
and he loves
film.
jazz,
he
loves
shit.
film. You could see that oozing out of this movie. He loves film, yeah.
And he made it. He made this film work in terms of the edit. It was really, really well done, well edited.
Yes.
It had a lot of stuff like from Whiplash that you could tell. Okay, this was the same similar sequence like in Whiplash. Like it had a great like little jazz sequence. It just cutting up. I think this was the beginning of summer sequence. In the summer sequence of the movie, where they had a nice little edit and jazz playing. Yes, and the stuff playing, and the other scene it just cutting and making them really smart, sharp cuts. Love it.
Yeah, the way how the camera kind of pans
another thing too is
right and thing. Yeah, that was cool.
Right, and then another thing I liked what they did was they made you could like especially that opening sequence. I was like, wait, when did High School Musical come out? It's about 10 years, right? So
yeah,
all of those
that,
people
like 2000, like what, 4?
That whole generation now. Yeah, 2006 I think. And
right. Yeah.
All of those people grew up now. So all of them in their mid-20s, they finished college. So that's it. That's that whole paradigm of the whole revival of the musical through children and through younger kids via Disney, and that kind of reverberate. And Damon Chazelle took advantage of that. That was great.
Yeah,
it had a good energy to it. Opening sequence, great. Second musical sequence of the roommates, great. Loved it. And then I personally thought the dance sequence, the two of them together, where they met, but they did a whole thing. I thought that fell flat. Sorry, I just couldn't. Gosh. It just didn't work. I didn't hate it. It wasn't like the worst thing on this realm, but it just didn't. I don't know. It didn't gel the way it should have. I thought it is a good attempt, but it just didn't work. And then the overall story worked, I find, where they had to go in their magical reality and then real life have to hit them. And especially Ryan Gosling's character, where he kind of sell out, and she wanted him, and she liked him because he wasn't a sellout. But at the same time, because he wasn't a sellout, he wasn't making no money and doing anything interesting, and she's kind of holding it back. And that was another sequence that kind of, sorry to say, it fell kind of flat again. That was the sequence where the two of them, they had the dinner and they had the argument. Oh. That fell flat. I don't know what it was. Now, the person who was holding that back was Ryan Gosling, because I thought he was just playing it kind of like, wait, he trying to be sarcastic here? I'm not sure what's going on. But at no point I got a genuine sense of harsh emotion. Like, the dialogue was good.
Yes.
But he just didn't deliver those lines properly. I was like, yeah, you could have do another take with that. I don't know. That just fell flat for me, because like, well, his attitude as well, you wanted me to hold back. And again, that's a devastating line of he claiming that she wanted him to be kind of poor and so she could kind of look down upon him.
Mm-hmm.
Devastating line. But it was just delivered so dryly.
Right.
And I was like, wait, what? That didn't work for me. People in the audience where I was with, they were like, whoa, this is like a real devastating moment. But I was like, yeah, this feeling flat for me. Like, no, I don't know what it is about Ryan Gosling. He just didn't bring it that scene. He's good throughout the rest of the movie. Especially some of his scenes with John Legend. That was great. John Legend can't act. Sorry.
I didn't see him as an actor. I just saw him as I'm just here, just doing this. Okay. Not trying anything big. All right, cool. Next scene. Yeah. That's how I saw John Legend. John Legend was a bad actor, because he had the whole part where he was kind of chastising Ryan Gosling for being a hipster. And it's like, well, jazz is about the past. Why it is, jazz is about the future. Why does you keep hammering about the past? You're kind of illustrating his attitude is a bit contradictory now. Yeah.
And I thought they would have like linked up on.
Yeah, sorry. I actually find like the first time we see John Legend though was kind of awkward. I could tell like Ryan's character was like, didn't expect to see you, Keith. That's John Legend's character's name. And it's just kind of like, hey, what you doing, man? Yeah, that kind of thing is like, yeah, let's see anything here. But it didn't last long, so it just kind of flew past me.
Right, no, yeah, it had an awkward moment, but then you get the feeling that they had a bad history. So at first I thought it was like, wait, they in a gay relationship or something like that. What? And I was like, no, apparently it's just Ryan Gosling denied him something and didn't want to sell out. They never explained that. I thought they should have like give it a passing mention, like why it is that he didn't want to work with him at all.
Yeah,
or something like that.
Like they didn't have to say it in that scene, but they could have said it during that argument about with jazz music.
Yeah, something.
Yeah. Right.
Whatever. Right. But then the thing is, so what I thought they would have done is link up on the idea of his hipster attitude is kind of a problem now. I thought John Legend would have like tear that down. So it happened And then we see him working with John Legend character. So like, all right, good. But I thought they would have linger upon, well, yeah, he cannot drop his principles for the sake of money.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is that what it was doing didn't feel like any kind of sellout thing to me. Now, again, I don't know because I'm not a jazz musician, so I don't know any better. But to me, the job he was doing was fine. Like, at no point it really felt like a sellout. The film contrived that with the editing. With the editing, especially when she went to the big concert.
Yes.
And I was like, but this is fine though. Like, what is that? There's a big sellout for him to lose. You kind of like if you playing calliope music. The sequence in the restaurant with J.K. Simmons, that made sense.
Right.
With him being, oh, this is music you don't want to play. Or the sequence when he had to go to the party and he had to play the shitty 80s music on the guitar.
Yeah.
Right. I totally understand that part. But like him with John Legend was like to me the perfect gig though. The whole film, the film tried to contrive that as if that is a big sellout moment for him. I'm like, what the fuck? That don't make any sense. The man making good music and good money. Sorry, I didn't see it like that. He does come across like spoiled brat bullshit. And her character trying to chastise him for that is also spoiled brat bullshit. That I couldn't buy into the two characters doing that at all.
Okay.
But that I had a problem with that too. What else?
Right.
I love the ending.
Yes.
Love the ending. I thought the ending
fantastic.
Yeah. I thought the ending was perfect. That whole sequence in the ending, and they had the black and white part, and then they going through the narrative of the kind of counterfactual reality of what if they could have been together, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Love it. Totally worked for me. And it was a great story bookend for the characters. It's like, all right, even though they spoil bratty bullshitters, it kind of life does eventually kind of hit them because the two of them are just two ridiculous hipsters in my opinion, especially her. She was kind of getting me vexed with that bullshit because she play it failed because she kind of overhears some friends saying it sucked. I'm like, what the fuck? Like that had nothing to them don't know nothing. They know nothing about making a play or anything like that, and she taking that to heart now.
Yeah.
That so a lot of that felt contrived to me. And story-wise, like as compared to say Whiplash, which is a lot more realistic in terms of how to deal with creation and obsession, this didn't really work land for me. But it's still a lot of it is still very good. It's still very well made, well shot. There's this excellent sequence where they were in I don't know, it was like a house party or a nightclub or something like that, and they had the camera in the pool spinning around with a bunch of people. And I was like, yeah, this like really well constructed and well made. I don't know. You say your piece and then I'll give my rating because it have a lot. They don't have that much to talk about when you actually boil it down.
Yeah. I agree with you. What I would say is like from the opening, right? With presented the cinema scope. That was a nice, touch, a nice little nostalgia touch thing, which was nice.
Personally, that bothered the hell out of me because I hear that shit. Like when they try to cater to this old Hollywood bullshit. Sorry, that just come across like Hollywood giving itself a reach around.
Right,
the circle jerk.
Yeah, I see what you
mean. Come across like
a
circle jerk thing. Like they had another scene where is when the friends was driving, and they do that old sequence where they show all the signs. Passing.
Yes. That whole
like,
that
come
50s
on,
noir thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that bullshit. I was like,
right.
Enough. And then another moment they had was with the oh gosh, I forget what it's called it when the circle, when they're doing the circle transition when it going out and then they open the
that Irish shot.
Circle transition.
Yeah. That Irish shot.
Yeah, the Irish shot. Yeah. Right. I was like, enough. Like, stop. You don't need to do that shit. Who's that for? I refuse to believe that it's for him and he wants to make that film. That's Hollywood fan wanky. You want to win that fucking Oscar. Sorry.
Right. No. Here's the thing, right?
I couldn't take that seriously.
Here's
my eyes on that.
Here's the thing, Ricardo. Here's the thing, right? Now, this what I gotta say is it plays to the movie's strengths and then kind of to its weaknesses, right? Is the whole throwback to old school Hollywood. Like, I understand what he means by it. And like when you think about it, those movies like Singing in the Rain and American in Paris.
Yeah.
What's this other one? Swing Time. Those kind of shows now where it's escapist cinema. You go in, you forget, you leave all your worries and cares and stuff, and then you just go into this world, and it's all where everything all works out in the end with those musicals. But at certain points in time, I was thinking to myself, I wonder if you could get the kind of Baz Luhrmann approach now, like how Moulin Rouge was,
right?
Where it was like all flashy and stuff, but then it still ended on this whole sour note, that kind of thing there, because that Shakespearean kind of vibe, I guess. But Like I understand why the musical sequences were used in the movie, and when they're there, and they look very good. They're shot very well. The songs,
No,
while
yeah.
I don't remember all of them, they stood to me. I was tapping my foot and stuff, and I understood why they were there because it's kind of going back to that era of escapist cinema now. But I like how they always came back to reality. Always came back to the struggle and how hard it is and that kind of thing.
That was the whole point.
Right.
No, he did that juxtaposition very well, I thought,
yes.
It's about reality hitting you. Even though I'll still say she's still making like damn good money. Like that apartment there was in was like, yeah, this is like really well made. This is like a real good fucking apartment. Whatever. But I see friends, we call it the friends. Yeah, that was studying. There's the friends, but I see friends, we call it the friends effect now.
Yeah.
It's no way you could afford an apartment that kind of money, but whatever.
Right.
Oh yeah, I don't really mind that.
Yeah, and speaking about the apartment, sorry to cut you there. So when they brought in the friends and the way how they were moving, I was seeing like I don't know if you remember from Romeo and Juliet, when Romeo's character is introduced and you see friends and how they all talk and they get all like excited and stuff when they go to the party now. I thought he was gonna get like a lot of moments with the friends now, but like you only get to see like, one or two moments and they just disappear. That kind of true.
No, yeah, they rushed that. Yeah, they rush that quick because you get the sense because in my head I was like, wait, why she by herself? And like, all right, the friends went with some dudes. They find some man to fuck. That's it, right?
I like the moments where the friends were singing and stuff. That was nice. Although I thought that Emma would have come in and sing something, but no, she just lies on the couch.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's what I'm trying to tell you. She didn't say anything because she just had like 1-2 lines. I tell you, Emma Stone, she's not a good singer. That's why, and it kind of showed. You could tell the director work around their mistakes now.
Right.
They work around her weakness in that way.
Right.
But she's a good actress. I thought she acted pretty good. In fact, her being a fake actress was excellent. All that, her acting in acting roles and then having to fake the acting when people keep interrupting her. That worked.
Yeah.
But she's not a good singer. That's the problem.
Right. So what I was saying what I was saying is the issue that I really had with it though is that I don't know, maybe it's because I didn't see enough trailers or enough behind the scenes for it, but I came in kind of expecting a story with musical elements in it. Like, I'm not saying like Bollywood, you get your 6 on it. I was expecting it to be a musical now, from start to end. Okay. What I got was elements of musical stuff. You got your song and dance stuff, and then when the reality stuff came in, especially like when the relationship really started between Gosling and Emma Stone, it just kind of just went to this dramatic route. And I was like, okay.
Right.
But where are we going to get the musical stuff? And then we got a little John Legend performance. I was like, all right. So it's more modern now. More modern instead of the old school. I was expecting like old school stuff all through. Like a homage now. But I didn't expect like, okay, we'll get the homage stuff first and then you'll get modern for like a good chunk of the show. And then near in the end, okay, now we're going to go back to traditional musical. I don't know, the tone of it was uneven. I would say that much, but
that's the part of the film I try to defend because I thought he had to walk the high wire arc of saying, okay, the story is a story about people reminiscing of the past because that's what it's about. A lot of it is this kind of working nostalgia that doesn't actually exist for them because they know where they're old enough to remember this. That's why I say Gosling's character is a bit of a hipster. Both of them kind of fine, in my opinion. I'll say especially Gosling, because he's talking about the thing, and then he's trying to ignore everybody who's telling him that he should kind of go towards the future, especially the John Legend part. Right. That's why that part I couldn't take too seriously. Because to me, like I personally already passed that hipster shit, and it's something that he should have kind of grow past, in my opinion. But he didn't, except he kind of fulfilled the role in the ending, and then they had to still make it pretty kind of nice and happy, even though they couldn't compound tragedy. So it's like one thing you're not getting with Emma Stone in the ending, and they leave it and they focus on that tragedy alone. Because to me, what make it even more tragic is he actually tries to pull off the nightclub and it doesn't work, like something like that. I'm the kind of guy that would write something like that. But it still was fine. The club was still very successful, so it had the happy moment, but it was still a contrived, happy, sweet thing because he didn't get with the girl in the ending, and they could still have a nice life, maybe.
Yeah. I what else was I gonna say? Right, and then yes. Okay, so I see they were trying to go for the old school musical vibe, but then you have this moment where they were watching Rebel Without a Cause, classic movie,
Right.
from 1955, I
Yeah.
believe it is, James Dean. And then they, which I did not expect actually, they actually went to the actual planetarium where they shot that scene.
Right.
Yeah, and they have that
Yeah.
that really gorgeous dance number there. That was lovely to see.
Yeah, that
And
was great.
it
That was a
had a
great
lot of
sequence.
experimental moments, and like, well, I don't want to call it experimental. It really evokes like those old musicals where I would call it flights of fantasy, where you have
Yeah,
moments
yeah.
like where
He
yeah,
did.
like a character, like two characters would dance in a room, and then suddenly the colors would change, and then they're in this whole new world and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
All right, the next show that I remember
No,
was
yeah.
the Red Shoes. That's the name of it. Red Shoes classic. It's not so much a musical, but it's about dance. But you have moments where sets change and they become more vibrant and more colorful. And I got a lot of that
Right.
in this movie here. Definitely see Red Shoes, by the way. Excellent
Right.
movie. But yeah, once again, just going back to okay, like I understand the juxtaposition between okay, those flights of fantasy where you imagine you're in a musical and yes, once you believe and you believe in your dreams and everything will work out and love and all that kind of
Right.
stuff. And then you go back to reality, it's like it's not always like that. Sometimes you really had to work hard and make a lot of sacrifices. Like I get that. But I think it's because of this the pastiche of it basically where it's like you're trying to pay tribute to
Right.
old films like from the 40s and 50s. Like one shot was straight out of like Vertigo. That was like before the argument scene where
Yeah, yeah.
you saw the light behind that green light behind the curtain. It's like yeah, that's Vertigo right there. Like I get all that. I understand what
Right.
Damien was really harkening back to those that era, that golden age era. But still, I think it's maybe
Right.
because of the modern tone of it. Like okay, all right, Emma wants to be an actress, but what show is she gonna be in? You know she's doing the singing and dancing, right? So you'd assume, oh, she's gonna be in some kind of musical. Not really. It's only when she goes to
Well,
one of the screen tests and they ask her to just say a story, anything that comes to mind, and then she sings that song. And right,
well,
that's where you got
okay.
the
So
musical part
yeah,
of her story.
well, right. So that part, that's the thing with it is, remember the whole, you're not sure what part is quote unquote reality versus the interpretation part.
Yeah,
So I didn't get
I
the
like
sense
that.
that
I
she
like
was singing to
how,
them.
how it made audiences, well, made viewers try to figure out what is real or
Right.
what is, not.
Right, and I thought they did a good job with that. And then they just say, look, we're gonna work this around you. You could get a call, maybe. And then she gets the call, obviously, because it jumped 5 years. And I thought that was kind of clever. That's why the ending worked, because with that jump, she did get through. She was successful, and then he ended up being successful, but separate. They had to separate.
Yeah, exactly.
He could go with her in Paris.
Like I love that. I love
Right.
that. The whole theme of it
Right.
and the way how it ends actually, like I really like. But what I'm saying is
Yeah,
the
and
genre
it's,
itself.
it's very romantic.
Yeah, what I'm saying is the
Okay.
genre itself, the genre of musical. Like I understand Goslin's character and him wanting to do jazz. Like, okay, it can't be
Right.
swing music. It can't be like stuff from the 40s because it wouldn't work, right? Because it's 2016 or whatever when the movie came out. So jazz is understandable. I mean, jazz still has its fans, but it's not as popular as it was, say, in the 50s or 60s, right? Obviously, right? So his character being who he was, this jazz musician, trying to make this club, trying to do, jazz and really promote jazz and because he loves it. I understand that. But I was expecting with Emma Stone's character as being this actress. Like she was trying to go on this, I don't know, some kind of high school musical-esque kind of film. The point is, I wish there was a moment where we got to see her really to utilize the singing and dancing talent that her character's supposed to have. If you understand what I'm saying. So like Gosling, you understand because
Yeah.
he's into music, he plays piano, and okay, it's not just piano, but he can sing and oftentimes he dances. Good, I get that. But Emma is like what a actress who just imagines about being in the spotlight, but she just so happens to sing and dance. But her being in a film does not rely on her ability to sing and dance. It depends on her ability to act. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I thought they really would
Yeah,
work
yeah.
in more of the musical elements that you would expect from a musical into it. And you really got it more with Ryan Gosling's character, even though you had to kind of shortchange it for jazz because, it's the modern times now. And of course, Damien Chazelle
Right.
loves jazz and Whiplash and all that kind of stuff. Like, I get that. But I just felt with Emma Stone stuff that it could have kind of utilize the whole I want to be in Hollywood, I want to be a star, like how those movies, like what Singing in the Rain was about, basically about Hollywood, about, that time when, it stopped being about, when the sound era came in. So now characters can
Right.
talk and sing and not just pantomime and stuff. Like I thought they would do that, but in a modern context. But
Okay.
the whole back and forth thing between, and this is what I really praise the movie for, is like how suddenly it would just kind of shift from slight fantasy to absolute fantasy and then back to reality, and they do it
Yeah,
so
quite well.
beautifully. Like
And the shots reflected that as well. So
Yeah,
like
yeah,
when they
yeah.
did like when they had the shot where the pan up and then it jumps in time, and then it just does. You're watching the picture and it's like, wait, that palm tree doesn't look too realistic, and it's not. It's a picture of a background.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
And
I love
the
that
two
shot, by the way.
guys,
That was great. Yeah,
yeah. Then you see the two grips move. You get that
Yeah.
sense of moving from reality to unreality quite well. That it's a strong film in that sense.
Yeah.
And if it's judged on that
and
standpoint, I could see it really doing well.
yeah, and most shows that's centered on Hollywood anyway always have that kind of thing about, well, it's Hollywood, it's the city of dreams, but it's not as real as you might think. It has a very noirish vibe to it, but it's very subtle now.
Yeah.
But it's more on the musical stuff. But the noirish thing you see, of course, with these, just the shots of LA and the lighting that they use. That shot where you're talking about, where you see all these signs and that little that collage thing that they do. All that is like from old school noir films. And even Vertigo and all stuff, which technically is you could call it a noir film. Yeah, that kind of thing. That whole reality and fantasy and this how Hollywood is or how Ellie is. And I like how they really show that with the two characters, especially with Emma Stone trying to get this gig, and everybody, it's just like one field gig after the other one, and her wanting really badly to be this actress. You got that a lot with her, and then of course with the jazz music, that was fine. But I just felt that because you were going for this old school musical tone, that you could have kind of worked in those things a lot more or a lot better. Like, okay, like case in point, remember right after the party with Emma and Ryan's characters, you just walk in, and also suddenly the music comes in, and then they sit down on the bench, and then they just start to sing. Like, I like how it moves smoothly, but then at the same time it's like, okay, alright, it's a throwback to musicals, but you don't get too much of it. Like, you get some songs like in the first act, and it was cool, but then like as soon as they get into a relationship, it's kind of like, how are we gonna bring in a little musical element here? Like, okay, sure, we had the John Legend stuff here. I saw in particular, like in this one little montage where you saw the both characters like hanging out and spending time together, and just so suddenly they just started dance like that because the music in the background, it's kind of like Damien trying to figure out how I was gonna bring in that musical thing that we set up in the beginning of the show. And I felt like in the second and third acts, it didn't really quite work as well as it could have. With the exception of the final sequence, which, of course, you understand is a dream sequence, and you get that in musicals, old school musicals anyway. So my point is, without rambling too much, is that I do applaud Damien for his ambition. Sorry, this is a very, very, very ambitious movie. I read that he actually wrote the script for this back in 2010, but like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know,
maybe maybe
these studios or whatever weren't confident in him, so he did Whiplash. It's like, oh yeah, you're competent behind the camera, so yeah, boom, do. He just poured all this energy out and it worked. Yeah.
No, there's a movie you had to kind of prove yourself to get done. I mean, in no way I would have green light something like this. No way.
Exactly. Yeah.
I could not unless if just a filmmaker just come out of the blue and say they want to do this. Nah. Yeah. But with Whiplash, when you see Whiplash done, it's like, all right, cool. The man has some power, he has some skill, cool. Yeah. And you have leverage at this point, so cool.
Right. And
they get done.
Yeah,
they make it.
Yeah, it did. And yes, the film has a lot of ideas, especially in the first act, which like we're really trying to stress upon, was really setting up like, okay, we're going to get this old school musical vibe, but they're going to be in a modern context. But then as soon as the relationship really started between the two leads, that's when it kind of just went back to, that's when it became like a drama for me. It just stopped being a musical, and then it just started to be about a drama centered on music and success and the pursuit of success and the hardships and all that kind of stuff. And then every once in a while we will get a reminder, oh hey, it's a musical, remember? And then in the end, of course, where it's like back to that visually spectacular musical stuff that for me, I was expecting to see throughout the entirety of the movie, you know. Um, I
Yeah.
understand the story, I felt it, but I just felt that they could have really utilized the musical elements a lot more instead of, oh hey guys, I love musicals too. Here's a sequence on this crowded highway, and here's a sequence here with these three girls who we don't see again. And here's a sequence involving this
Right.
pool party, you know? It kind of just forgets about the music for a while, the musical elements. Then it just goes back to, oh, well, it's this story about these two characters and they come up and, you know, what they're going through. You know, if they really could have worked in the musical elements a lot better, a lot more creative, then yeah, I would have enjoyed it a lot more. But apart from all that, you know, nitpicks aside, the directing was superb. I'm rooting for this guy to get an Oscar nom. He have to get one because you could tell this man just pour
Yeah.
all of his energy in it. It's not just, oh well, I just see a bunch of movies over the course of a weekend and I just throwing them on screen. You could tell that this man really loves film and it shows. Um, the editing was great, especially with the dance numbers, especially with the camera work. Being able to transition from scene to scene, shot to shot. The cinematography was so beautiful, so gorgeous. Even in the flights of fantasy sequences and the normal sequences, I thought that the cinematography was fantastic. That has to get a nom too. The songs, while they didn't stick out too much for me, like I don't remember a particular song lyrics or whatever.
Yeah.
But you know, when they were there, I was
remember
tapping my
multiple
foot and I
songs.
was enjoying it. I was loving that vibe. The jazz music as well, I thought was excellent. Um, I think it's from the same guy who composed the music for Whiplash, so that's seen a lot.
Right.
The acting was decent, especially when the two leads they really show that they have a lot of charisma, a lot of chemistry together. The I expected to see more of like J.K. Simmons, for example. I forgot to say that he was one of the owners of this restaurant, and he just kind of comes bluntly and
Yeah.
just say you're fired. That was a great scene, but I wanted to see a little bit
Well, you
more
know,
of him.
you know, come bluntly, Taliban play the thing. You gotta play the damn thing.
Yeah. Play Jingle Bells.
Play
That's
the
what
thing
we
and
want
you
to
wanna
hear,
do
Jingle
your thing.
Bells. Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
And I thought that
Bossy
the way
walk.
how the story wrapped up was excellent as well. I love that. I love how
Yeah.
they really worked in the musical elements into that whole fantasy reality thing. And in a way, it's kind of like a commentary about those type of movies, period, you know, about musicals. About that whole idea that, you know, it's all escapist cinema and it's about everything gonna work out. But then you have to come back to reality and realize that, you know, that's just a film. That's just a movie. That's not how life is. And I give credit where credit is due. I like how the movie showed that. But to me, what really brought it down, just personally, is just that I wish that they could have incorporated more of the musical elements that they went out of the way to establish in the first act. So yeah, let me just get to rating wise. So for me, I would give this a strong 4 out of 5 stars. I mean, regardless of the flaws that I mentioned, it's not a perfect movie. Whiplash is still the better movie by far, but this one, yeah, really shows that Damien is a force to be reckoned with. I'm hoping that this man get a nomination. Like I say, I'm hoping that the show wins some awards, man. Maybe not for best original song, but I don't know, maybe for best film score, something like that. Maybe for I don't know, cinematography or direction, something like that. But it has to win something. I have a feeling that it will. But yeah, whether you're a fan of musicals or not, I still say you should give this one a look. One thing I would say though is that the flights of fantasy sequences and the way how they transition from, you know, reality to that, I think might fly over a lot of people's heads. A lot of people might look at this and not really understand why we're getting this musical number here and then we're going back to reality there. They mightn't get. But I think that if you understand the medium of musical movies, especially from the golden era, you'll understand. Once you understand that these films are meant to be escapist, you know, entertainment, then then once you understand the story between the two characters, then you'll understand why it's like that. But I just felt that, like I said, if they really focus more on the musical stuff, then it would have seemed kind of seamless. You would have gotten your musical stuff as expected, but you would have gotten that really touching emotional drama between these two leads. But apart from that, still a very solid effort. Can't wait to see what Damien does in the future. But yeah, solid 4 out of 5 stars. Definitely see it. So what's your rating?
Yeah, for me, I give it a solid IMAX actually. As a film, it really works. Overall, even though, and as I said, here's the thing: a good rule of thumb for a film for me is if I'm judging it on a certain level, in terms of theme and character motivations and these kind of things, not technical bullshit. Like from technical standpoint, I had nothing to think about or worry about. As I said, one of the issues was really Ryan Gosling kind of falling flat at times. A couple of sequences didn't really interchange. But again, there's more thematic overall, you know, editing issues. the movie worked. I mean,
Right.
say what you want about it, I could totally see somebody loving it. And I just, because I'm not a big musical fan, I can't get into it as much as other people. I can imagine somebody really loving this movie.
Yeah.
For all the things that we knock it for. It is just, that was more character motivations, and in the world, we judging it diegetically.
Yeah.
That's a good sign. And I give it a solid IMAX. This was excellent. It's worth your money. Again, I expected to win a lot of awards because it was one of those Hollywood hand cranky kind of movies. Sorry.
Yeah. It's kind of like what the artist was, in many ways, but with a purpose.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, not like,
right, exactly.
It was
a lot more like the
so,
artist.
Yeah, that's what you get. It has a purpose.
Yeah,
it has a message.
It's a lot like the artist, but much like the artist, but you have a better excuse to give it all the awards and to win, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But I still really enjoyed it. The artist, even I remember liking the artist kind. You notice nobody's talking about the artist.
That's
and it win the Oscar.
Yeah. But the thing is, like I say with this movie, still you have to understand the medium of musical movies to really get it. And I imagine a lot of people who don't will just look at this and be like, yeah, I don't get why they're singing here, and then all of a sudden they're talking normal here and that kind of thing. I think it might fly past a lot of people said.
Once you're mildly, assuming some kind of once you're mildly assuming some degree of Gene Kelly-ness of the world, you don't pick up on what's going on. So I was like, I already know what I was kind of walking into.
Exactly.
So
you have to know what you're walking into. Yeah, exactly.
A lot of it was still a lot of it kind of fell flat for me, sadly. But it still gets a solid score because what it does right, it does very, very right. I mean, and I noticed that from Sid's within the first 5 minutes or so. I just hated it kind of catered to old school Hollywood a little too much. But I suppose that's the nature of the beast.
Yeah. Okay. I kind of liked it. It was nice, but I like that they didn't overdo it though throughout the entirety of the movie. Just in that intro, okay.
Right.
All right,
yeah.
I get
its moments.
Right. But like I say, because from that intro alone, because of how the intro is, you're expecting it to be like continuous throughout the movie. Or at least you would have incorporated, like I said, throughout the movie. But no, it just starts off like this, and then in the second act, they kind of go back to normal. They try to figure out ways to bring it back, and then is in the end, when, the story really wraps up, it's like, oh, okay, now they bring it back, and then it all makes sense, But the message of the story is true. I could personally relate to that. And yeah, even if you don't like musicals, you could still relate it in some way, shape, or form. But yeah, that's all we could say about La La Land. So, by all means, check it out, especially if you're a fan of musicals, you'll love it. If you're not, still give it a look, It's still, a visual feast for the eyes. And of course, you will be humming or tapping your feet to, the songs in this movie. I don't know if it might win for Best Original Song. I can't really say. I still rooted for Moana, but who knows? We'll see. All right. So moving along from La La Land, now let's talk, since that movie was kind of going back to movies from the 40s and 50s, now we're going to go to the early 60s, 1961 to be precise, with Hidden Figures.
Yeah,
which is based on the true story about 3 female African-American mathematicians who worked at NASA. And at the time, they had to deal with, of course, racism and sexism. And this was, during the time of the space race where, Russia already found a way to get their men to the moon and stuff. To get their men in orbit. And now it was just America trying to catch up. And, the movie kind of goes back and forth with, showing, the people at NASA basically trying to figure out ways to get their men, up in space. And then you have these 3 individuals here who not just dealing with what's going on there in NASA, but also dealing with their personal lives as well too. Well, more in particular, Taraji P. Henson's character, Katherine Goebel Johnson. And we also have the 2 other characters, Dorothy Vaughan, who's played by Octavia Spencer, and Mary Jackson, who's played by Janelle Monáe. Second movie I've seen her for the year, along with Moonlight. And also, speaking of Moonlight, we also get to see my boy Mahershala Ali. Yeah, he's in there too. I did not expect to see Jim Parsons, who we all know as Sheldon Cooper from the 10 seasons and still running, shockingly enough, Big Bang Theory. We also get to see Kirsten Dunst. I was like, when's the last time I see her in a movie? Can't really see. And of course, we got to see the incomparable Kevin Costner, who is who plays the director of the Space Task Group. That's basically a group that's trying to get, an American individual, an American man up there in space. So,
So as I say,
thoughts on Hidden
yeah.
Figures.
So yeah, I really like this movie. Then I enjoyed it a lot more than expected. I thought they would have played it kind of boring and straight, and it was actually well done. They made it very personal, and they decided to have why it worked because it had good focus. They knew what to focus on,
yes.
make it work. As I say, well, I mentioned in my Moonlight review, it has
a
kind of running theme of
you say Moonlight.
Yeah, in the Moonlight review,
right.
There's a running theme involved with with just kind of black aesthetic, how people see black people in the world historically, especially with respect to science and aesthetics. And there's a running, as I say, there's a running paradigm for the year going on with these things. I kind of forgot the general train. I thought I should have done a little writing down just to make sure what I wanted to say with respect to that. But it's just, this film was a kind of culmination of acknowledging black history with respect to science. One of my favorite comics is a very popular comic called Judgment Day. If you're familiar with this comic, great comic, and it's with respect to Janelle Monáe in particular. She has a very big Afrofuturist bent with her, and this movie kind of just hammered that home, the realistic aspect of this.
Right.
Yeah, you need to have you had a lot of black history with respect to science, and a lot of people didn't acknowledge that.
Yeah.
And this movie did that. Now again, I'm not sure how now to use as I say, it have a 6 degrees of separation with Moonlight, Kevin Costner in this movie. There's a lot. It's Mahershala Ali and Janelle Monáe and Octavia Spencer. Octavia Spencer and Kevin Costner was in a movie called Black or White.
Right.
The guy who was the lover in the ending of Moonlight, he was in Black or White as well.
Right.
With I forget the actor's name. He was in Nick.
Yeah. I forget his name. We mentioned it in the last episode, but yeah.
Yeah. And so Kevin Costner there all the time with a lot of black material, and you see a lot of black actors kind of come together with that, and you see the same. Bill Burr is another comedian who's like that. I think Bill Burr has a black wife. And there's that kind of internal Hollywood run with Black Hollywood and the nature. Just putting out messages and I don't want to go as far as say the word propaganda. It's not true, because if it's a good enough narrative, it works. Again, I had to do a little bit of research to see how much of this movie was true, but a lot of it was true, and for what I understand. Because one of the best parts of the movie for me was the fact that Octavia Spencer's character, she went out, she stole the book from the library.
Yeah, that was a great scene actually.
Yeah, and she learned Fortran. She learned the programming language Fortran. And again, geek like me, it had a lot of nice little math stuff in here for me to appreciate. Engineering stuff, math stuff.
Right.
I remember when Janelle Monáe's character,
Mary, right?
how she pioneered a lot of how you could find the history of her pioneering and making sure you had a lot of people in space with respect to astronauts now.
Oh, you're talking about that scene where they testing the rocket and they ask her a question. Right. Well, okay, what do you think we should do to improve on this rocket? And then she suggests something.
Yeah.
You talk about that part.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was a great
so
scene.
So the person, I have a kind of close link. The May Carol Jemison, I remember meeting her in real life. She's the first female black astronaut.
Wow.
It have a good a good running part. Yeah, a good running paradigm of how what black people have with respect to history, and people's like the sad part is that the people on the left tend to over exaggerate this history, and then people on the right, and you'll have the usual reactionary types will try to erase it entirely. I was like, no, there's a real story to be told here. Yes, you could embellish like any history story, but at the same time you have to still tell a good story at the same time.
Yeah,
and that is why this film worked for me. It was simple. It has told the idea of dignity. Simple story of dignity that's supposed to occur in a domain of intellectualism and solving problems, but you can't get simple dignity even in this. And that's all the film had to do. It hammered over a little bit. It was a little bit of a Lifetime film. A little bit.
Yeah,
but it still worked.
Especially the way it was strong, the tone of it, well, what I would say...
Yeah, it still worked, especially Taraji P's character.
Yes, right. Well, that's what I would have started with.
Yeah.
Well, if I just have like well, maybe a couple more might come into mind. But if I just have one gripe with the movie, is that I felt that the movie focused a little too much on Taraji P. Henson's character, I mean, yes,
Okay.
she has, she's great on screen. I mean, hands down. I mean, I love her from Empire. I would admit I actually do watch
Yeah.
that show
No,
and enjoy it a lot. Yes. And she has
okay.
a lot of
It showed that she had
presence.
range.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But just the way how she plays this character too is like she's there within, of course, this environment full of white people. That scene when she goes into that large office and everybody's kind of watching her to like, oh my god, she's black, oh, that kind of thing. There, I like
Yeah. Yeah.
how she kind of
Yeah.
tries to play it off cool, but at the same time you could tell that she's worried. She knows she's here for a reason, but you could tell she kind of like worried about what's going on. And then there was these moments that kind of played off as humorous. I mean, it's sad when you think about it, but how she plays it is kind of funny, where she has to run, this great
Yeah.
long distance just to use the
Yeah. Like
bathroom.
half a campus.
Yeah,
Essentially.
I mean, it's funny, but at the same time, you and this is the one thing I really love about the movie too. It does not stop and say, yes, this is how bad racism is, and this is how bad it is about. We know how bad it is, but the way how they show it, it's subtle, even right now to
Right.
that scene where where there's the coffee pot, and everyone's kind of looking
Yeah.
at it and looking for this sticker that says for coloreds only or whatever, that kind of thing. Just those simple little things without stopping and saying, hey, you're black, I don't like you. It's not like that. It's not that kind of show.
Right.
It doesn't
No, but
hammer you over the head over that.
that's his. Yeah, that's his, the what made it work nice. Just simple dignity and how well. Again, you could get into how this portrays racism, but it I suppose that's how it was at the time. Again, not sure how accurate it was. Some people,
Well,
I'm sure some people
yeah.
might come out of the book and say, "Oh, this part is bullshit," blah 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 blah, whatever.
Yeah, or maybe
But
it
the
was
point
worse
is,
than that.
they
I
did
don't know.
some simple stuff. They did some simple stuff of the idea of her being the kind of the unsung genius, and I remember you saying how your job. I remember when Kevin Costner was telling that boy from Big Bang Theory, I forget his name.
Jim Parsons, right?
Parsons, right? How your job is just to look for the genius amongst this bunch,
Yes,
And he was kind of
yes,
just being a kind of show hog. Oh, he figuring out everything, not realizing no, you had a kind of. So it's part of his personality. There's a kind of they hammer on racism a lot, but a lot of it was kind of more sexism to me, if anything. But you couldn't separate it for the sake of the argument.
True.
But to me, it worked better like that.
Yeah.
Especially when Mashal Ali kind of get called out in the beginning when he met.
When you met Catherine,
that character for the first time.
Yeah. After
Catherine
at the
for the first time.
little church
She kinda
session. Yeah. That was a
Right,
nice
to pull him
moment.
up
Though.
on-
I really like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
with
And
the character, I just
it's a
felt,
feel good movie, but it was a little too on the simple side again. It a little too many lifetime, oxygen moments. That's
Yeah,
the
I
problem
know,
with it.
I know. But
it felt-
you could kind of blame
it felt a little amateurish at times.
Right, but what I would say is, two reasons why I think it's like that. Three reasons. Obvious one, A, it's rated PG. B, because of the
Right.
three actresses and how popular they are, especially Taraji, with her, roles, on television and movies and stuff. And also you could tell that they really want this thing to show on cable. They want this thing to show every February for Black History Month, so we had to kind of tone it down and make it a little lighthearted, a little feel good. I mean, yes, you have your dramatic moments, some happy, some sad. You get that, but not too much of sadness to make you feel like, nah, but I can't watch the show again. Boy, this makes you cry so much. It's more like, the idea, plain and simple, is just to inspire not just black girls, but girls and women in general to once again to pursue
exactly.
their dreams. And it does it so simple, so straightforward that you can't help but admire it. Like I wasn't expecting some kind of grand Oscar winning script which is so over the top and dramatic. No, it's simple. It tells a story. It's not, like I say, it doesn't stop to tell you, okay, this is how bad racism was back in 1961. You got the idea without them beating you over the head about it. And because the tone is so light already, it's there, but you really do feel glad now when these characters overcome these things, when they overcome that racism and sexism and triumph. So yeah,
right. It does work. I mean, so for me, it worked for the most part. It again a little too feel goody for me, but it was still that's in nature of the beast. You have to kind of do it like that.
Yeah. And, I forgot to
I get the
mention.
feeling. No, here's the thing, If it's a movie that got a bigger budget that you would expect it to should, because if it had the normal budget a movie like this you would expect, it'll be like on Oxygen Network. Instead of Kirsten Dunst, it'll get Meredith Baxter Burney or something like that. I don't know. In this movie, you could Kirsten Dunst is looking much older than she should, right? She's playing a much older character, right?
Wait, who's that?
Kirsten Dunst's character. She's playing much older.
Yeah,
right?
she shockingly look really old, or like late.
Yeah,
well,
that was saying because
like but she looked like
I don't remember her ever looking at.
Yeah, she looked like.
So I know they make up
30s,
they do make up the player.
Kind of, yeah.
Right.
And so only when I watch and
So
I look at the cheekbones, I was like, yeah, that's Kirsten Dunst. So wow, look at her. But
yeah.
But I was going to say
And
too. We forgot to mention the music. Which.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's Hans Zimmer. Yeah, Hans Zimmer of all people did the music for this. It's not that orchestral thing that you would expect from like a Nolan movie, for example, but it works in that feel-good tone that they're going for. And you get some music from Pharrell Williams as well too. He provides some nice songs. Although, just to be nitpicky, I felt that he was really going out his way to sound like a Stevie Wonder. I know Stevie Wonder is one of his biggest inspirations in music. But yeah, you could tell every time the man sing is like, yeah, I just trying to be Stevie Wonder in like every song that I do. And I also felt that because of the time period, the songs that he came up with, it took me a little while to realize like it didn't sound entirely like something that would come out of the 60s. And I'm talking about because it's Pharrell's voice. I'm just saying about how the song, how the music is. It doesn't sound like something from that era. It sounds like something like maybe from mid to late 60s now. But, you know, like I said, that's minor nitpick. But other than that, though, I like how seamless the music was in terms of balancing Hans Zimmer stuff with Pharrell stuff. Although, and this is just another nitpick for me, I don't like it when movies do that, especially movies with black, actresses and stuff, where they always have to have that sort of gospel vocalizing every time it's some kind of inspiration.
Yeah, well, I heard that's the thing. I heard it had a big.
It's like cliche, man.
Well, I heard. Yeah, the movie had a big kind of controversy. Although I barely followed it, but it had a controversy. So I think Kim Burrell is a gospel singer or something like that, and so it had a big clash because Kim Burrell made this. You find a speech online or something like that, where she just is huge, really like anti-gay, homophobic speech she did.
Oh right, she was the one who got in trouble with Frank Ocean's mom.
I can't remember what the details
because
about
I think
that.
what happened is because
she
what happened I think is because Kim was on a song on Frank Ocean's album Blonde, excellent R&B album by the way.
Right.
And then she provided that sort of gospel vocals at the end of that song, right? Nice song. And then, like, about a few months later, after the album come out and get real praise, then she brought out that speech, and then I think Frank Ocean's mother, who is currently his manager, kind of called her out for it. I think that's what happened, really. Yeah.
Right. But that's the thing, because I heard she get booted from Ellen. Anyway, we're talking kind of gossip more than anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, Janelle Monáe is in the movie. And Janelle Monáe is very pro-gay, so it's not even like even an argument about that. So
I know.
And she had she own thing, and both Janelle Monáe and Pharrell as well. So it didn't have an argument now. It's not a drama about it. But yeah, from what I understand, Kim Burrell's song was a big hit. I couldn't remember because I just kind of tune out gospel crap anyway. So for me, sorry. So I didn't notice it. But I just noticed a lot of Pharrell's music in it. And I thought, yeah, this is a pretty damn good soundtrack.
Yeah. There was one song that I expected to be there, but I don't know if you remember a song that he brought out like early to mid last year called Freedom.
Right.
And he saw this that that's how the beat goes.
Yeah.
So I was expecting, because it's about, black characters, black figures in history, in American history. I expected to hear that song in the background. Like at some point, like, no, we don't hear it. We hear some song from Mary J. Blige at the end. I was like, okay, no Freedom. All right, well, that was just a throwaway track that ended up on some commercial, I guess, whatever. But I think he could have just put it in just out, just for Sona. Just for a reason for people, just for people to buy it on CD, you know what I mean? Instead of for some album that we probably might not get from Pharrell in the near future. I don't know. But, yeah, but his music was decent. I didn't expect it to be this prominent, but it worked for what it was. And Hans Zimmer's score itself was fine. It wasn't overpowering. It's just that the same gospel vocalizing at, like, probably 2 points in the movie was, like, real, real, like, Oxygen style kind of movies, that kind of thing. That was just it for me.
Right.
Yeah, but other than that,
Yeah.
though, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Oh yes, and I just felt that personally that they spent a little too much time on Taraji's character, especially with her relationship with Marshalla's Ali's character. Um,
Right.
I
I
mean, we get to see a little
I
moment with
was
Janelle Monáe and her trying to get into the white college to
right.
to learn more. That was cool. But I wanted to see a little bit
Yeah.
more of not just her but Octavia Spencer and her saying because she
Right.
like the supervisor wasn't there and then she had to fill that role and I wanted to see a little bit more of that. Yes, you got the
Right.
moment where she was in the library and she was reading that book to children at the back of the bus. Like I got that, but I still felt like I'm not saying
Yeah.
that it should be about everything should be about the three women now, but I just felt like maybe we could have got a little bit more from Octavia and Janelle's characters because it just felt like it was a little too much of Taraji, even though I really love her as actress.
Right.
But yeah.
Right. No. Well, for me, I find that's the reason why it worked because the whole point is that they had to have a better focus. I agree with you to a certain extent that they could have probably do a little more with Janelle Monáe in particular because she was like, but to me, they had much to tell with her story. They did her story. She did the thing. She convinced the judge. That was it. I mean, I have nothing else to tell.
Yeah.
And with Taraji, because Taraji was such a math genius, she kind of borderline. Well, the kind of the running implication that she probably on the spectrum now. She probably on the autism spectrum of some sort. She's basically a borderline math savant type genius. And that's that last shot with her when they close the door in her face. And I was like, they hammer home the whole dignity thing now.
Yeah.
You didn't get it with any other character. Her character was genuinely a genius. I mean, there's not even a question now. And they just made that work so well with her. That's why I think they needed to have her as the focus or the locus of the story, if anything.
Yeah.
But I get where you're coming from with that. But I actually prefer them that they had a better and more of a focus to her character over the others.
Right. Okay.
Yes, Octavia Spencer's character is Fortran. She learned Fortran. She learned the programming language, make it work. Again, that's probably largely embellished in terms of she sit down in the room by herself to make this machine work. Probably not. I'm not sure how much of that would have been true. But we could debate about that. I suppose you could just do your research and who would have figured out what.
Yeah.
And in the case of Janelle Monáe, it wasn't much to talk about. It's just she just had to get into the school to do the engineering. And because they had a great scene with her and the guy, the other higher ups, is like, I'm a Polish Jew, and
Mm-hmm.
you had to come through struggle now. Don't just think and cry about being black, blah 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 blah. And they made it work.
Yeah,
and
that was a great moment
the
too.
simpler ways. The simple ways of how to just get past. You have to still use the system. The system, yes, there are a lot of people who operate in the system, operate in bad faith. Like Kirsten Dunst's character, she keeps talking about this is how things was and this is how things are. But they made it work in terms of how this is how you fight against the system. The system only works if it's consistent. That's the thing with it. And until they stop believing in their own rules, if you're talking about oppression, that's when it cracks.
Mm-hmm.
They have to break their own rules. Once they are consistent and you keep up with their standards, it works.
Yeah.
Right? With time passes. And that's the most important take from the story for me.
Yeah.
And the sequence of John Glenn saying he want her character come back and solve the problem because the machine was kind of fucking up.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah, that was a great
because
scene.
it's about still good about human ingenuity. They hammered on the final part where the guy could barely run across the campus, where she had to keep going back and forth just to go to the toilet to solve problems. Just a hammer on final part where he could barely run, and he only took the trip once. They made it work. I still really like this movie. It was nice, a little on the amateur side, but still worked.
One last thing I just want to say before we get to our ratings. What I really appreciated too is that it didn't stop at a particular moment in the whole American aspect of the space race. There were goals that were attained, and then it just kept going, and then something else happened, and then something else happened. It wasn't about a particular moment in that aspect of American history. It was gradually. So months and years pass. Not too much years, of course, but you saw enough to really see how these characters grow. Not just our three leads, but also Kevin Costner's character, Jim Parsons, and so on and so forth.
Yeah,
and that was great. So, rating wise, I would give this a strong 3.5 to like 4 to 5 stars. This is definitely worth checking out. I'm not saying don't go and see it in cinema, but I have a feeling this will be a staple of cable television for years to come. You're gonna see this on regular rotation on Lifetime, perhaps, but definitely like on BT, especially centric. This is a centric worthy movie for sure.
But it's one of those. But another thing too is that this kind of implicit segregation occurs in media that I absolutely hate, that the Americans get kind of trapped up in, which is, well, it's going to be showing during February, and it's like, no, don't even think about it as
a February specific movie. No, it's
right
universal.
as Black History. Just talk about it as history. Yeah, in fact, I'm one of those that just think that we should kind of abolish the whole Black History Month bullshit. Tired of that nonsense. But whatever.
Dude, everybody
just
wants a day or a month to celebrate shit. You know it is.
Yeah, that nonsense. That I don't know. That just encourage that kind of bad and very very segregation and kind of bad faith in my opinion. But whatever. That's another story for another day.
Yeah. What's your rating?
This movie was solid business. Yeah, solid business for me. I give it a low IMAX. Not a high movie tongue. I give it a low IMAX. So go to cinema one and enjoy yourself. Have some time, and I recommend it. It was strong. As I said, it was because it still had its amateur film moments. In the same vein as how Black or White was. But this worked for me for the most part. Solid business, solid performances by everybody, a good message and a good telling of the narrative of how to. This is how you're supposed to do this narrative.
Yes.
But again, I can imagine people in bad faith nitpicking the history of it. But that's about it. It worked for me. Enjoyed it. Great movie.
Right. Okay. So yeah, this is definitely one to check out. This is definitely one that's gonna get female empowerment. Gonna get it into main focus. So,
yeah.
Now for the segue of all segues. So now we're going to move from female empowerment to male chauvinism. Boy. Now we get into the sequel that we wait 40 years. We wait 12 years for. 12 years we wanted a sequel to this movie. And now we finally have it.
Right.
Of course, I'm talking about XXX, Return of Xander Cage. To the extreme. Yes. I just added that to the extreme thing. Now, I'll see this right off the bat. I know you didn't see it, Ricardo, so I'll be reviewing the film. I understand why a movie like the first XXX existed, but, in retrospect, when you watch it now, it really does feel dated. Because remember, this is the time when, this X Games and, when rock music, this band Saliva, remember the song Bodies? That was in every horror action movie out there.
Yeah.
That song is in the movie there. When I heard it, I was like, oh yeah, I remember you used to listen to this back in the days. Wow,
Okay, so here's my attitude to this film. When I saw the trailer, it looked like something that should have come out 10 years ago. This is what the part 2 should have been. Since then,
I wouldn't say this is what part 2 was. I wouldn't say that's what part 2, but continue.
Yeah, no. The first. No, but as I was saying, this is what the part 2 should have been.
Right.
Because at the time, Vin Diesel got too big for his britches, and they get a feeling that he just didn't want to come back. And the first XXX was complete nonsense. Terrible fucking movie, in my opinion.
I will defend it.
It was just so much garbage. It was. I mean, the sad part is because James Bond was shitting the bed at the time too. I was like, all right, they kind of catching up because that James Bond, that was the last. What was the last James Bond?
That was when
the last Pierce Brosnan
came out the same year.
Die Another Day, yes, and that was terrible. And I was like,
that was the nail in the coffin right there.
Exactly. So when Xander Cage come around, I was like, well, this is just the American part of it. But here's the thing: the reason why James Bond still kind of work because it have the weight of history behind its back, and it's British. Sorry, that's a factor. This to see an American version of this just did not fucking work at all. And then I remember the Ice Cube.
Well, people might argue and say, well, what about Mission Impossible? But then again, Mission Impossible is Mission Impossible, not James Bond. Just saying.
Right, exactly. Mission Impossible is not a comparable to James Bond. Remember I didn't say Mission Impossible is not American James Bond. At no point I think about it like that. Mm-hmm. Whilst this tried to be an American James Bond. It's about the guy
blatantly.
And this modernized. Yeah, it's total rubbish. And then when they did the...
I'll still defend it, but continue.
Then when they did the one with Ice Cube. Right. I didn't hear that anywhere near as much, but that still sucked. It was still this is a garbage action movie that just didn't work at all. Ice Cube was just overweight. He still was overweight then. And so it's like, wait, at what point are you supposed to buy this action star? Okay, whatever. No. The movie was real dumb. He was already... he had to take with Vin Diesel. Vin Diesel was already too old for the role then. So and there's another thing I couldn't buy at all. This man, trying to be real old. But, have you ever seen that scene with... oh, gosh, who's the famous actor name, boy? Where he pretended to be a young kid.
Not Dirty Grandpa. I was thinking about Robert De Niro.
Steve Buscemi.
Oh.
No, Steve Buscemi. Remember, you can find a meme. Steve Buscemi, in a t-shirt and in a backward cap, and he's like, "What's up, my kids?" Yeah, they're trying to pretend. Yeah, is that bullshit? That's all I was seeing Xander Cage in that movie back then.
Right.
So fellas for now, like, what the hell?
Yeah. No.
I couldn't buy this movie. I'm not gonna spend more money on this nonsense. Sorry.
I know. But what I would say about the previous XXX movies, right? Yes, they are both dumb, right? But they do work as mindless action guilty pleasures. I would say that. It's like the perfect show that you'll watch on a Saturday night when you literally have nothing to do. When all your friends busy, when you're feeling to go, to a bar or some club or whatever, and it's showing like on TNT or USC or something like that. This is the kind of stuff that you sit down and watch. The first one, I felt took itself a little too seriously at times. I mean, it was dumb throughout, but it took us. You could tell that we just try to be this real X Games version of the James Bond franchise, and we're trying to be edgy and cool, and that's what kids into right now. Kids into that whole extreme stuff. I remember there was a scene actually in XXX where you saw Tony Hawk. I was like, oh my god, Tony Hawk was in this movie. I forget. Wow. You know?
Yeah, I was like, again.
Yeah, and
it just, I don't know. That's the problem. It's still because again, Tony Hawk is somebody who at the time was still too damn old. At the time, this was 2002.
This is 2002.
Yeah.
That was right after what Pro Skater? What Pro Skater?
Yeah.
5 or something? I don't know. Whatever it was, yeah.
Yeah,
but
it's a mess, and it really get a feeling of how do you do fellow kids? It's that meme now.
Yeah.
It's that Steve Buscemi meme. It's like, yeah, guys, this is not what young people like. Stop trying to market as if this is what young people like. And it's way too late to be doing this shit. 2017, give me a break. Give me a break. This is
and then
how about sequels we don't need?
Yeah, and then we had the character of Xander Cage himself. Like, okay, we know that Vin could do action right when the first Fast and Furious, which was like a year before XXX anyway came out. Yeah, the man have the presence and everything. He could do that tough guy kind of thing, that Neanderthal kind of thing. But in this one, in the first XXX movie, he was trying to come off as this real arrogant kind of asshole kind of thing. He was just cracking like these one-liners and trying to be like he against authority and all that kind of stuff. I saw that particularly the moments between him and pre-Nick Fury, Samuel Jackson. Those moments. Cool.
Yeah.
But then you had this villain, and then you had this scheme that they literally ripped off of a page of some like Pierce Brosnan Bond movie. I'm not talking about Diner Day. I'm talking more like GoldenEye kind of stuff, But still, the action was decent. I have to give props to Vin Diesel's stunt double. Yes, the movie, if you watch it now, you could tell, yes, Vin Diesel stunt double. Vin Diesel stunt double. You could see it. It's so apparent. So apparent.
Wow.
But one thing I'll give the first movie praise for, it had the best snow chase scene ever. That sequence where he comes off the plane on the skis, and then he goes on the mountain, and then he set off the bombs, and then he had the avalanche, all that kind of stuff. It's so incredibly dumb, but the way how it's shot, the way how they put together as from just a visceral view, from a visceral perspective, was just brilliant. It was like
this is
the first one.
This film or the original?
No, the original one.
First one, right? Yeah.
That was like a perfect homage to James Bond. Especially, I think it's The Spy Who Loved Me. That's what they would reference, the whole ski chase scene, but they just do it more, 2002 basically. But yeah, that sequence alone sold me on this whole thing. But like I said, the show just took itself a little too seriously at times. It ran for too long. Like, it was like about an hour and 50 or 55 minutes. It could have been way shorter if they didn't have to stop at these moments where you had to see him trying to infiltrate Anarchy 99 or whatever the name of the group was, and playing he could roll with these like Eastern European gangsters all that kind of thing. It's like, dude, come on, let me pick up the pace.
At the time, yeah, exactly.
Come on,
but
stop.
I remember
serious.
That because that's the thing. I remember that, and it's like, wait, at what point them supposed to think that he's supposed to be part of them? And he had his name like tattoo on his neck or something like that.
Like, dude.
He have his name like tattoo on his neck or some bullshit like that. I was like,
he have the 3 X's on his back. Sorry, on his neck.
Right.
And there was
Whatever.
this one moment where no, wait, as you say that, there's this one cringeworthy moment. Like I don't even think that the script writers and them didn't even figure it out until it's too late. Where from
Right.
early on you saw the X's on his neck, right? At the back of his neck. And still there was a moment where like, okay, well what Samuel Jackson's character, his name is Augustus Gibbons, does he gives them like tests now. So he give him 3 tests to do, like
Right.
real life scenarios kind of thing. She's like 3 strikes. I'ma call you XXX. So
Right.
what? You
Some
could not
bullshit.
figure that out by the 3 X's that already on the back
Yeah,
of
you
my
know,
neck. It's like,
shitty
oh,
script, right? Yeah.
3 strikes. I'ma call you XXX. Why?
Right.
But anyway, but
Yeah,
moving
stupid.
along to State of the Union, I would admit I enjoy this way more, simply because it was a lot tighter. It did not take itself seriously at all. It was real
Right.
style, but not enough substance. It didn't have much substance in it at all. They were real trying to be like this real edgy kind of action movie with Ice Cube, of course, who just looked too big for his own good. But I think the reason why the
Oh, I
movie
studied.
works is because of Ice Cube. Because he could sell that
Okay.
I don't give a shit kind of thing. That is what Ice Cube is, and he embodied that in the movie. And oh yes, and Willem Dafoe was great as a villain and stuff, but really what bogged it down was, of course, that the visual effects. Boy, that CG was so apparently. I don't want to say it bad. It's just like it's CG, especially
Yeah,
that part where you
obvious. Yeah.
saw Ice Cube was driving in the GTO and the tires
Yeah,
come off
bullshit.
and he riding on the railway. All that stuff is like, yeah, that's green screen stuff, man. Come on, but while the first one was all about that whole extreme culture, that subculture thing, because how Fast and Furious is, going was real taking advantage of that car loving subculture. No? This one was more about the extreme
Yeah.
thing. State of the Union was more about, to me, how I saw it was more about how black culture was starting to get more and more accepted in the States now, especially with rap music. That was around the
Right.
time, like I say, when Southern rap music was blowing up. And if you watch this movie again, you'll hear like Young Bloods. When last you hear about Young Bloods, right? When last you hear about them? And
You
you'll
know,
hear
for
Chingy, and you'll hear like those Southern rappers, those St. Louis rappers, and those, around the time when rap itself was starting to get more and more accessible now at that time. It was less about East Coast kind of thing. But anyway, going on another tangent. And then, remember they had Exhibit? Remember he was big off of the whole Pimp My Ride show from MTV?
Yeah.
Remember that show? Every Sunday night. Pimp My Ride. Yeah, so all that.
Yeah, I remember now. Yeah.
And where was his job? His job was to jack cars and things. So, yeah, this famous scene, the man jack a tank. It's like the first tank jacking in history. It's so funny. But yeah, I really like the fact that the story was a lot tighter. It didn't have these moments that were dragging and stuff. It had a dumb sense of humor, yes, but it was entertaining and it was fun to watch. It's just like I say, the premise is still dumb. Everything about it is still dumb, and the CG was just like, so blatantly apparent. And that was like back 2005. So we were like, okay, well, XXX done. I mean, the Fast and Furious franchise had to blow up, and we get more and more of these movies, even though I thought the fourth one was terrible. I'm just glad that they kind of revive it in part 5. Well, sorry, with Fast 5. And since then, I just on board with the whole series, and yes, I can't wait to see, Fate of the Furious, which is the 8th one. But it's funny enough that same year we get in Fate of the Furious, we also get in this movie here, Return of Xander Cage. And I'll say this right off the bat, this is blatantly a cash grab shit. This is like Vin at the moment
Wow.
where he's like, I think he's like 49 years old. He's like, you know what?
Yeah.
This
it's
Fast and
yeah.
Furious franchise gets so big and people around the world love it, But what about that one that I did that year, boy? Oh yeah, XXX, and people liked it at the time, and people liked to see the whole extreme version of James Bond. Let me try it now. I don't know what happened back in 2005. I don't know because not like he started any like big Fast and Furious movies until the 4th one, which was like back in 2008. So the man he wasn't really doing much now. He wasn't in the second Fast and Furious. He wasn't in the 3rd one. So, well, in the very end, he wasn't in that. But, he was doing other things apparently. So, whatever. I thought he just forget about XXX. He didn't care for it. But, lo and behold, we have a new one. And the premise is... what is the premise by? So we have all right. So we have this bad guy. I wouldn't say who the bad guy is, and the bad guy scheme basically is that okay. There's all these satellites that revolving around the Earth. So this bad guy has a device that could disable the any satellite in any way in the world, and literally have it
Right.
just fall down to Earth like a meteor. That's it.
Okay.
That's the
Okay,
big
so
scheme. This person
yeah,
has a device and and satellites falling down to Earth like meteors. Yeah.
yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Okay,
I
so
could disable me. I could disable satellites. Ha
no,
ha ha
okay.
ha.
I'm willing to buy that. Wait, it's satellites or it's like a space station? Because I'm willing to buy that if you.
Satellites.
But most satellites,
Satellites.
yeah, but then that already kind of undermines itself because to me, if I understand, a satellite won't survive re-entry. So how that falling? So what? It's
I
only
don't
like a
know.
handful, a piece of
I
is a
don't
piece of
know.
metal hitting the ground like a couple.
No,
It can't be a whole satellite because
it
that shit.
falls. No, the satellite itself falls like a meteor. It hits Earth and it explodes. Right? Like it hits a particular city, a
Yeah, but
particular area, and blows up.
what you're trying to say is what? Yeah, but what you're trying to say, like at most, I could like probably blow up a truck or something because
That in this
a
movie.
satellite, most of the satellite would burn up. Most of the satellite would burn up from ENT. That make no sense. That is the plan. That is really plot.
That no. Well, what I was
Matthew.
saying, yeah. That's all. Listen to me. Listen to me.
It-
This is not the
Is that
grand.
really the plot of the villain?
This is okay. Oh gosh. The big plan is to acquire a particular device, right? Right. So the idea
Right.
is that if they don't get a hold of this device, then they will just drop the satellites now. They have the capability somehow to just do this, right? So early on, we see Augustus Gibbons, right? Once again played by Samuel Jackson. And he's trying to recruit somebody else to be in the team because he have this thing about recruiting nobodies that have capabilities into this whole XXX program. So he gets kind of wiped out because one of the satellites fall when he in this restaurant and it blows up now. So we all presume that he's dead
Right.
and blah 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 blah, right? So, but what get me first of all is that in the second movie, they said right out the bat that the XXX program was done, and they kill off Xander Cage because the last time we saw him was back in Bora Bora with the Eastern European chick now. So they say, well, he dead now. So lo and behold, we see him in Brazil on top of this antenna on like these skis now, and he's sliding down and he's sliding through this forest, and then he goes onto this skateboard, and he you know he's skating past cars and buses and all kind of crazy shit now. But they never really stop and say, well, dude, did you fake it death or what happened to it? It's just that he just there, he
Right.
just, hopping all, wheel hopping, doing all kind of stuff, doing all kind of extreme stuff, I guess, because, he still is on the cage and he still has to be extreme, even though he old. I don't know. But anyway, so, Augustus's superior, who's played by Toni Collette, haven't seen her in a long while. Only yesterday I learned that she was in the show The Vampire Diaries, which for your life of me I never watched. So
Right.
she is part of the.
She wasn't Toni Collette. She wasn't in Imperium. That's the last movie I saw in
Okay, well I haven't seen
with
Imperium.
Daniel Radcliffe.
I haven't seen
Yes.
Imperium, right? Yeah, but
Okay, you're right.
yeah, but anyway, so she finds Xander same way how Augustus found him in the first one, with guns and soldiers and stuff, and recruits him on his job. And basically, what happened is that the device that they had is called the Pandora's box. Wow, very original name, right?
Right.
Was stolen by Donnie Yen's character, and he is like this
Okay.
former XXX he was formerly in the XXX program. So now he and a few other characters, they just decide to hold on this Pandora's box thing there. But at the same time, you still have that bad guy who's just like dropping satellites and stuff. So I guess the idea is that he's trying to get the device so he could find the person who's doing it and stop them. It's not really clarified until like in the second act, where you're not really sure if Donnie Yen is really supposed to be the good guy or the bad guy. But anyway, so
Right.
Toni Collette kind of brings in, Xander, and Xander real trying to hit on Gills, and there's this like a few moments in the first act where he blatantly just hitting on chicks. They have a moment where he goes to London just to get back that stupid fur coat that he had in the first one, and then he talking to this like real fine, attractive chick, and you could see like it had some other girls there that helping her out now, and then he real talking to she that kind of way like he want to sleep with her, but she's like no, she ain't doing that. But she called 3 of the other girls who were there, and like they decided to sleep with the man. So like about I don't know 5 or 6 or 9 chicks the man just hit on before he even start the mission. So it's like the reverse of a Bond mission. So before the mission even starts, he's sleeping with chicks, but whatever. So Toni Collette, right? So Toni Collette shows up now, and she have like one of those kind of what's called those helicarriers, those big jets like what Agents of Shield have, you know, right? One of those jets, and then she introduced her to this girl who's this techie. And she's like arguably the most annoying character in the entire show. She's all like, "Oh my god, this Xander Cage!" Oh, and she's just like talking a lot, and she doesn't stop to to shut up, that kind of thing.
So I'm making out. Quick question: I'm making out myself here. So that a woman, I think she's look like gosh, was Mia Khalifa.
That chick, yes, her, the one with the kind of
she's look like
glasses. That's her.
Yeah, that make out me something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right. So this was like one of the one intentionally hilarious scene. So Toni Collette have she team already ready to help Xander now. So Xander is like, no, I don't want them now. And he kind of attached their cords. Cause remember they in a jet, this big plane now, to this.
Right. I saw this in the trailer.
Yeah. So they all like get flown, thrown out of the jet literally. So he said, you know what, I can call my team jet. So he calls Ruby Rose, who you would remember from Orange is the New Black.
Remember? I know the actress.
Right. So she is this she's a real good sniper, and they even do this whole Suicide Squad-esque kind of thing where you would see the character name and a brief little bio about them now.
Right.
But in this case, it's done intentionally for laughs now. I like how they did that. Or they just remind me a lot of Suicide Squad, but whatever. So they have a part where she say Call of Duty, I forgot what you call it, like Call of Duty name or whatever, like the name you call yourself online is Lady_Boone.
Yeah.
Like I thought that was cool too now. So you have her, you have Chris Wu, who apparently is this DJ. Yes, he's a DJ. That's all we know at the moment. The man is this Asian DJ. Who just happened to sneaky way into a club and get himself in front of a turntable and get a party started. That's his special capability. Then you have this guy. Oh gosh, I'm forgetting this. Right, you have this guy Rory McCann, and he just basically this kind of like. He's a driver with a death wish. So he's the type of a guy who would just drive through a whole bunch of cars and break side mirrors and things. So he would just drive reckless. But the idea is that he just don't really care that, just the mere fact that he would survive a car crash is like, heaven to him. It's like nirvana to him or whatever like that. It's dumb, but that's what it is. He's just the driver in the group. Right? But as I say, Tony Jaa is in it as well too. His character was kind of like, he was working for Donnie Yen, right? And what we would do, like, he would fight and thing, and he would give like a little one-line and stuff because he's from Thailand, and because he's not English, wouldn't give him so much alliance to really confuse his head. But he's doing this kind of weird like break dancing, like the pop lock kind of thing. So he would do that like he's some kind of badass, like woo, like that, like he's Michael Jackson.
That's Tony Jaa, right?
Yeah, Tony Jaa. So. Okay, props for giving him a change of character. So he's not just this scowling tough guy like what he was in the last Fast and Furious movie. But still the blonde hair and the woo kind of thing was kind of like, why?
Too much, yeah.
And then you had this chick who was working with Donnie Yen, is by this Bollywood actress. So let me just see if I can pronounce the name. Deepika Padukone. She plays Serena. Okay. She is very, very attractive. For one thing, but she is like she's the right hand woman pretty much to Donnie Yen's character, and then of course Finn meets up with her, and then they try to develop some kind of sexual tension between the two of them, and yada 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 blah blah blah. So pretty much it's just these two groups going against each other with this bare bones plot, and yeah, I find that talking too much about plot because really and truly, there's barely any. But of
I've
course, you
not.
expect that in a show like this. And this is the
Okay.
good thing and the bad thing about the show. The good thing is that I went in knowing that this wasn't going to be good. This was just going to be like this guilty pleasure, just nonsense, just action for the sake of action, little story, little character development, um, really over the top action scenes, and I got that. What I like is that it wasn't too over the top than the last two movies. So they were pretty over the top, yes, but they weren't too over the top. Like in one scene, for example, you saw it in the trailer where they were on the bikes and the bikes had the skis and they
Yeah.
driving over the ocean. And yes, they have a part where Vin goes underwater and then comes back out onto the surface and continues riding after against Donnie Yen. I was
Yeah.
like,
How is that possible?
um, what?
Not possible.
Okay, I
Yeah.
had met them on the surface, but going underwater and then coming back up, come on, man, really? Um, well, what could say about this show, right? Vin Diesel does what Vin Diesel always does in these shows. You could tell that he's playing kind of like Dom as well too. Dominic from the Fast and Furious movies. But instead of it being about family, it's all about the Triple X team now. It's all about the team members and all that kind of stuff now. One thing that kind of turned me off about him is that he's more of an arrogant prick, more of an asshole that he was in the first one. So he's just like
Yeah.
like doing wisecracks at everybody now. So he just real trying to play off the fact that he don't care about nothing and nobody. He could do what he want. He could he could hit on whatever chick he want. He could do what I mean, all that kind of stuff now. He doesn't care. But dude, you're how old again? You know what I mean? So it kind of
Yeah.
doesn't work with his age, with a character like
Yeah. That
Dom,
was
for
trying to say.
example, in Fast and Furious, it works because he have this family unit, and of course he have his well, girlfriend turned wife. So he have that responsibility. He's still the tough guy. Don't get me wrong, but still he has his family, his illegitimate family, I should say, that he thinks about. It's not like, well, I just trying to be young, and that's what Xander felt like. Like he was really trying desperately to be young. He was trying to play that character that he was back in what 2002, but as the problem is 2002. That was 2017,
Yep.
Dre. Like, show some maturity, man. You know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah.
yes, he knows stuff. He knows, like, okay, well, this, well, I mean, like, he would know particular, like, military related stuff. Like, I get that. Or he would know certain spy stuff. Okay. But still, he's still that guy who just would do all these insane stunts because he's Xander Cage. That's why. They don't explain why. He's Xander Cage. Um, I thought that the other actors were okay. I thought that Deepika was great, not just to look at, but also she spoke English very well because I mean she is from India. I thought that Donnie Yen in particular stole the show because at first like I was like, yeah, his character is gonna be real one dimensional, but as soon as he just started to get some time to talk and really show off himself as being this bad guy, I started to get a little bit more invested in his character. And then, the moment the action sequences where he gets to fight and get to do all these stunts and things, I thought was excellent. I mean, Donnie Yen killed it for me. Tony Jaa did
Right.
his thing, but not as much as all that, unfortunately. But I thought that when he was there, he was there. Um, the team members, well, I really liked Ruby Rose's character. I mean, she's the sniper, so you had to like the sniper. The guy, the driver, I thought he didn't really do much except act like he's crazy and he just driving through stuff because that's his role. The DJ guy, he didn't really have much to do except infiltrate some party that was in the Philippines that was hosted by, of course, Donnie Yen's character, and he just managed to get in front of the turntables. How, I don't know where the DJ was. He didn't knock him out or anything like that. He just happened to come behind and start the party just because he's a DJ. I don't know, but that's how it is. Um, Tony Collette, I thought she was just playing this real bland character, and I didn't like the fact that she was given all these terrible one-liners. Yeah, it has some very, very, very terrible one-liners, like real cliche, real dumb, real 2005 kind of stuff, and it just didn't land for me. But sometimes some of the one-liners will work, but most of the times it was miss for me. Um, the action sequences I thought were handled well enough. There were a few moments where it felt like the editing was rather choppy, Especially when you have to deal with actors that you could tell right off the bat don't have the chops to really sell the action. So you have to kind of edit
Yeah,
around them in a way. So you have to show the camera shaking and people running and people getting shot and all that kind of thing and all that kind of stuff, and you're losing focus as to what really going on. But that happens like every once in a while now. The story, like I say, is so generic. Like, okay, we have to get this device from the bad guy, and then we realize somebody else want the device to do something else and all that kind of thing. But they really had me at disabling satellites and having them fall to Earth like meteors and causing explosions that kill people. And they set that up
which
like in the
makes no
first
sense.
like what
However,
5 to 10 minutes. I was like, really?
yeah, nothing about that.
Yeah,
Nothing about that makes
nothing
sense.
about that one.
Satellites is burn up.
Yeah,
Satellites burn up. Like if you even if you get wherever you get, will be like a chunk, like a small chunk of metal. I suppose you could probably kill a couple people, but like no way you could use that as a bomb, though.
I don't know,
Whatever.
but
Whatever.
but
Moving
but the
on.
thing is,
Next.
because it's triple X, you know what to expect from it. That's the thing, and that's why I enjoyed it. There
Okay.
were a few moments where it was just like in the first one, was taking itself a little too seriously, and then because of that, it resulted in some little scenes that were dragging there. What I mean is, like, you would have a moment where, like, Xander have to prove that he could be as tough as the bad guy, and he have to go out the way to intimidate and do this and do that. Now, the conversation scenes now where he had to prove his worth. And I felt like those moments was kind of like, oh gosh, all right, we get it. All right, you wanna infiltrate the group, okay, fine, move on, pick up the pace. And that's why I'd like the second one for not doing. I like the fact that they didn't have to resort to that. But with these moments in the that were in the first one, they came back again. Not too much, unfortunately, but still they were there, and it was like, okay, kind of get to the point now. Stop with the navel gazing, stop comparing dicks, and just move on with the story now, right? Cool.
Yeah.
Characterization wise, because there was so much of characters over the place, you didn't really get that much characterization anyway. You get like a couple of moments really, but nothing much. It's just, okay, we have the sniper here, we have the DJ here, we have the mad guy who just drive cars and smash into stuff there. Not really much going for it really, and you kind of expect that. But I think the drawback to it, unfortunately, is because of, ironically, of the success of the Fast and Furious movies, especially with the from Fast 5 go up, because they
Right.
managed to establish characters so well. Yes, for a dumb action movie, and because you like the characters so much, you root with them even though they go through all these insane scenarios, right? But in this one, because they're
Yeah.
introducing new characters, you don't really get enough time to really get to know them well enough. And then even when you do, they're not that well established. It just feels like, okay, we have to have this Asian character because we have to appeal to the Asian crowd, because this thing will make more money probably domestically than it will internationally than domestically. Who knows, that kind of thing. um and just all these, like, I don't want to call them one dimensional, but they're just like these cliche characters you've seen before, but it's nothing about them that will make you be like, okay, yeah, I like him. Like, say for example, the Fast and Furious, like, you like Tyrese for how he does move, you like Ludacris, you like characters like that now. But this one is just like, okay, I supposed to like him because he's Tony Jaa. I'm supposed to like him because he's Donnie Yen. It's not like that. You have to develop character, and it didn't work here. And just simply put, you could tell that Vin really went out of his way to try and do with this franchise that what happened with Fast and Furious now. Because I mean, it's fortunate that it happened to get itself back. When it started to realize, okay, let's stop taking ourselves seriously. It's just a dumb action movie with cars. Let me see what we can do with cars, and that's how these movies from 5 go upwards to be successful, right? And I could tell here
Yeah.
that he trying to do the same thing with Triple X, but it doesn't really like update the formula that much. It doesn't really do anything creative that you've seen before in other action movies. I'm not talking about just dumb action movies like Mechanic and thing, but just stuff that you've seen before now. It doesn't really do anything that different. You have your bad guy that you could see like a million miles away. You have this dumb scheme about dropping satellites because you have this ragtag team that have to work together that you've seen in like Mission Possible. You have the hero who had to learn to, to work with a team, that kind of thing. You've seen that before, but there's nothing really different. There's nothing really new. Even right down to the action sequences as well, too, with the exception of the bike scene over the water. That's like the only original thing I see. Everything else is just like, yeah, you've seen this before, but it's just they do it they just kind of tweak it a little bit for this movie. I mean, it's still entertaining to watch, still dumb fun. Like I found myself shoveling popcorn in my mouth every time I have an action sequence and thing. But still, when you think about it, it's like, yeah, nothing really new or original. I mean, I'm not expecting anything groundbreaking from a movie called XXX Return of Xander Cage, but still, I think the main reason really is because of the years that pass. Like compare the first 4 Fast and Furious movies to the 3 that came out just the other day, the 5, 6, and 7. Look at the gradual change of those shows, right? Compared to the previous 4 Fast and Furious movies. Now look at XXX and XXX, well, State of the Union. And now you're looking at this one here, and it feels like, yeah, literally, like I said, something that could have come out, like, in the last decade. It really does feel like this is something that could have come out, like, 2008 or something like that. And then on top of all that, you have Vin Diesel trying to resuscitate this character. And oftentimes he sells it because of him, because it's Vin Diesel, because he could sell it. It works. But still at the same time, it's like, yeah, but we like you more in Fast and Furious. You don't need to be doing this XXX movie. So why is this movie made? I don't know. And then when you think about it, it's so obvious. It's a cash grab. You want to do the same thing.
Right.
You want to take the success. You want to take the formula, the same success formula that was applied to the Fast and Furious movies, and you want to try it with XXX. So you're hoping that it will work. And maybe it will, maybe it won't. I don't know. I can't really say. But for now, I have to judge it for what it is. It's a dumb, mindless, stupid action movie. It's not terrible, but you have to go in knowing what to expect. But what I would say is it's a slight improvement over the previous 2. I still will defend State of the Union for it being a lot tighter, a lot more, and the lead, Ice Cube being the lead, was better than how Vin Diesel was in that show. But still, it's every bit the same thing what you would expect. So for me, I have to give this a decent 3 out of 5. It was aight. But I wouldn't say definitely if you didn't like the first 2 shows, you would loathe this movie. You would loathe it. But because it have this kind of self-awareness that same thing that they do in the new Fast and Furious movies, where it's kind of like, oh, you really want to do that, but that's impossible, that's stupid, but yeah, we can make it work because it's this type of movie. They do that same thing, and then like I say, oftentimes it works. But if you just can't get over that kind of that sort of dumb lowest comedy denominator kind of action movies, then yeah, you're gonna hate this one. But still, if you enjoy the last 2, if you look at them as how I look at them, as just mindless, guilty pleasures that you could just watch on a Saturday night, get the adrenaline up, then you'll have fun with the show. But other than that, though, if you like your action movies with more intelligence, like if you like the Mission Impossible movies, for example, or to extend the James Bond movies, then you don't need to see this. And just like the last 2 movies, you don't need to see them. You don't need them to be like, yeah, man, now the spy genre is back on its feet. No. We already have that with, the Daniel Craig Bond movies anyway, so you don't need XXX. But still, like I say, if you like the first 2, then you'll have a blast with this one. But other than that, if you don't care for it, don't bother.
Same.
Yeah, so imagine you as a person who, regardless of all the things I say about this show, still not gonna watch it. And that's fine.
Probably not.
But I wouldn't recommend that you go big screen to see. Wait till it come out on home media and check it out. You can laugh at it. You can drink. You could get drunk off just counting the amount of times where you see or you hear Vin Diesel crack a corny one-liner. Stuff like that. No.
I'll catch it. I'll more likely catch it roughly 19 months from now, and it'll be randomly playing on cable. I was like, oh yeah, this came out.
Yeah, this is a straight up cable movie. This is a straight up TNT movie.
And then I'll fall asleep.
Nah, you can't fall asleep on that. You'll either be laughing or cussing.
It'll just be played on the TV with low volume, and then I'll just drop asleep. Yeah, like okay, later.
All right.
All right, scene. Yeah, well, good to hear, Matthew.
Right. Okay. All right. So that's pretty much about it. We talked about 4 movies that were great in their own, in their own way. Even that XXX movie.
Right.
But yeah, apart from that, stuff to look forward to. I see we're getting both. Sorry, actually, we're getting 3 shows this week. Actually, at the time of this recording, we're getting Fences,
Yeah.
Patriots Day, and Silence
Right.
theatrical releases.
Right.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
definitely gonna watch
wanna,
Fences and Silence big screen.
Yeah.
Not too sure about
Right.
Patriots Day, but I will check out Patriots Day all the
I might-
same and review it.
Right, I'll make the effort to try to see Patriots. Silence, I'll definitely try to see. I really want to see
Silence is
but,
a big screen for sure. Scorsese, I respect him.
Right.
I have to see it there. Fences, I heard tons of great stuff about it. I mean, it's being directed by, of course, Denzel. So why not? I have to see. It's his debut directorial, outing, and I want to see how it is.
Surprise! Actually, he hasn't directed anything before this.
Not to my knowledge, no. Oh wait, no.
Oh wow,
I was thinking about Antoine Fisher, but no, he didn't direct Antoine Fisher. No, he didn't. He starred in it, but he didn't direct it.
Right. Okay. Cool. Well, I'm trying to see if we could get something pull off. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well.
Yeah, and then also too,
Matthew,
early next month, we're supposed to get John Wick Chapter 2, and also can't wait for that. And also, we haven't done any TV show reviews, so one that I will be doing in the near future, well, hopefully in the next episode, will be season 4 of Sherlock. Heard a lot of things about it. I try not to hear too much things about it, but from what I gather, it's probably like the darkest season yet. Some things happen that people didn't expect. I don't know, but I'll check it out this week for sure, and you should expect a review for it soon enough. So
And then,
yes, continue.
Cool.
Yeah, so to answer your question,
Yeah.
where you can find me online, you can find me on Twitter. Just look for Legally Black MGB in capital letters. You can also look for me on Facebook. Just look for Machi Bailey, and also for Illegally Black official fan base, where you can find the link to this podcast here, as well as the others that we've done before, the season 1 and 2s, and of course the written reviews that I've also done as well. Ricardo, sir, where can we find you?
You could find me at Armedy, that is ampersat RMEDDY on Twitter. And then you could just type in my name on Facebook, so Ricardo Medina Facebook.
All right, cool, no problem.
Yeah.
So that's it. So once again, guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whenever you listen to this. This was Machi Bailey and
Ricardo Medina.
And we are signing off from another episode of Beers, Beats, and Bailey. And just in closing, as a wise man once said, and this wise man, of course, I'm talking about Vanilla Ice, a.k.a. Ice Ice Baby. To the extreme, I rock a mic like a vandal, light up a stage, and wax a chump like a candle. Understand that, and you'll understand XXX and his significance, and you'll understand Xander Cage and To the Extreme and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, guys, so take care. Until next time, peace.
All right.